Crossover. Oh, killer crossover.
Just crossover. It just crossed him over nastily.
Another victim to the crossovers. Cross him up and sit him down.
It is time for the crossover. It's brought to you by Everlevel
Concrete repair. You know, I triggered Matt right before the crossover started.
Right before. Right before.
EverlevelConcrete.com.
Everlevel Concrete.
Nobody gives up about Northwestern basketball.
Thank you,
Julia
Gary.
Louis-Dreyfus does.
Thank you,
so
Gary.
Shut up.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Put him on the board for another fine.
Wow.
Getting triggered.
That's $200 today.
Yeah. Wow. Every fine is $100 no matter what. That's good.
I just made that one up.
That's good. That's
You
good.
You guys making enough money to have $100 fines?
Are you done? Are you done? Are you done? He just called a really great coach mid. It's fine, and we don't have to talk about it.
A really great coach.
So I've
Really?
learned you do not touch Chris Collins or Pat Fitzgerald.
So weird.
David Braun, it's fair game.
Yeah, Dave. Well, I mean, for the most part, yeah, he's fair game. I mean, he did a great job 2 years ago.
Spencer Allen, fair game.
Fair game.
Yeah.
But not my two.
How about Joe McEwen?
Sure.
All right.
I mean, he's just not mid. That's just an incorrect statement.
I don't know. Look at what they do, what they win every year.
They win
Nothing.
more than Nebraska. They win more than Nebraska basketball.
Nobody's claiming that Fred Hoiberg is a very, 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 very
Did
good
I
coach.
claim it or did you call him mid?
I called him.
I didn't claim a thing. Gary goes, it always comes back to Northwest. I didn't say a word until he said it right before, and then he interrupted you rudely when we were telling you the crossover is powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair in
You
Omaha.
love Chris
at
Collins,
everlevelconcrete.com.
Matt and Chris Collins sitting in a tree.
Everything is Northwestern basketball. I mentioned Patrick Mahomes. And he's like, you know what? I bet Chris Collins recruited Patrick Mahomes.
It's going to be a
I don't
meme
think
now.
so. I don't want to go there.
It's going to be a meme now where it's like Gary says something, and then it's like, Matt, how can I get Chris Collins into this?
Pretty much.
I thought Patrick Mahomes handled the Tommy Tuberville question pretty well yesterday.
He has had some real curveballs thrown at him this week.
What was that? What did he get asked?
Tommy Tuberville said that he coached Patrick Mahomes at Texas Tech.
Yes, I did see that.
They missed each other by a couple of years.
Yeah.
And Patrick Mahomes says,
Upon further review.
He goes, I don't know if I've met him.
Did you see that Kendrick Perkins claimed that he was the leader of those young Oklahoma City teams? And Kevin Durant goes, that's the craziest thing I've read all week.
Hey, what would be a better fact checker, the news people or sports people?
Ooh.
Oh, I think we have some real revisionist history on sports too.
I was about to say, like the sports fact-checking department, and everybody's a fact checker in the sports department.
So many people in sports told you that Scott Frost would fail at Nebraska, which is really weird because it was a slam dunk hire when it happened.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure that every sports fan has like football reference and basketball reference, one of those two on their bookmarks, so they can just click it.
The Frost one, though, Josh, that's the one that everybody admits to show that they're human. They're like, all right, hand up. I know. I was wrong about that one.
Look at this whole book that I wrote about it and how I was predicting Nebraska go to national championships and who exactly they would play in those national championships.
And then they're like, I said that, and I'm going to own it. But that was my one mistake.
Yeah,
that
never made another mistake before in my life.
Would you guys like some Scott Frost UCF news?
Why? Why not?
Who's he bringing in?
He's not bringing anybody in, but he has purchased his new home.
Oh.
The price tag on the new home in Orlando.
Yeah.
$15 million.
That's a lot of million.
4.1 million.
Nice.
New home for Scott.
Good man.
So does he keep his house in Phoenix?
In Orlando?
I would hope so.
Yeah, you keep the house in Phoenix.
In Orlando? Is it in Orlando, his house? Would you know the 4.1? You wouldn't know where it is?
What? It's in Orlando.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you can buy stuff outside of Orlando, Happer. It doesn't need to be right on campus.
Area.
Yeah.
Orlando metropolitan area.
Yeah. I
like he's not commuting from Tampa.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's $4 million. It's a lot of money, man.
So he's got a really, really nice place in Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
He was building in like Ashland.
Oh yeah. I think he still's got some access to a little lake house up. Yeah. I think he could come back whenever he wants. Not that he would, but he's got places to go if he comes back to Nebraska.
Okay.
I think so. Safe houses, if you will.
Jeez, it's not that bad.
I don't think so either, but
And he just lost.
if
Man, it's
somebody saw him in Nebraska, you know how many tweets, you know how many retweets that would get?
I mean, yeah.
I didn't see any tweets, but I got a text from somebody that lives near his mom. And so he was back like middle of the summer. And they're like, yeah, I saw him out. He was friendly.
Oh,
like he was.
That's nice. Okay.
Like he did after he got fired, he didn't immediately move out of Lincoln. So he would go on his golfing tour and he would just randomly play with foursomes.
Really?
Yes.
Like out west?
Wait,
No,
like
like
random
in the
people?
Lincoln, Omaha area.
but like with random people or like his friends?
No,
Or it would just
some
be like-
friends, but he would also like just be golfing by himself.
Oh,
and
sure.
Can
Can
you
you
of a sudden
imagine?
you'd be, he'd join a foursome.
You pull up to the clubhouse and
That'd be
they're like,
quite the
"Hey,
deal.
by the way, we're gonna have to add one. If that's okay. You guys can do 2 carts and they'll have their own cart. No big deal. Oh, okay. And you go out there and you're talking like, man, I wish it was just the 3 of us. Like, I hope this random guy's good at least. And then it's Scott Frost.
Is he good?
He's got to be. He's an
Yeah, I
athlete.
think
He's a
I think
former
he's a pretty
NFL
good
player.
golfer.
Yeah.
He's a little stiff. You know? Just a little. I mean, he's a big guy.
Yeah, he's a plank of wood.
He's a big guy. He's got a lot of,
Do you think he needs to do some
got a lot of
yoga, some-
traps.
Yeah, it is a lot of trap.
His
arms
I
are-
don't see a lot of golfers with that big of traps.
So you're saying like,
I'm just saying, like, you need to have some flexibility.
so
to-
once Bryson like scaled down.
Yeah, I was about to say. Like
Look at
Brooks
what's
Koepka.
happening.
Does Brooks Koepka have too much traps?
Yeah. Like Brooks
Ooh.
Koepka is ripped.
Yeah, he's pretty. He's stacked up for sure.
How about right now? VJ Singh is pretty.
VJ Singh,
I'm just saying.
isn't he like 60 some?
But he's got some big traps. Same thing with Angel Cabrera. Angel's always been a big boy.
Now
Tony
that's
Finau?
a big. That's a big guy.
How about a John Daly? He's got big traps.
I don't think John Daly has big traps. I think he's just a large man.
Yeah. So you got fat people who win major
Being
championships. in
fat
golf.
is different than being muscular.
Hold on here.
Whoa.
It's been a while. Let's hold on. When was the last time a fat guy won a major?
Patrick Reed. Won a Masters.
Yeah, nobody liked it, but it did
I don't know.
happen.
He's not fat.
Yeah, he is. He's fat. Patrick
He's a
Reed's
little. He is
fat.
a little.
Okay, so he has
sloppy.
a boiler.
Yeah.
That's not like John Daly-esque.
No, Patrick Reed. I mean, Bryson, technically. I mean, but he's more muscular than at one point, Bryson was fat.
But Bryson has like tuned his game to his muscles.
Fair
you know,
enough.
he's
But Patrick Reed's a big
he's the
boy.
golf scientist, right? So he figured it out. If you're
Trying to think of more. I don't know. Everyone golf nowadays is skinny.
skinny and tiny, that's why Rory's so good. He's like 2 feet tall.
Yeah, but they're built.
He's so compact.
I mean, they're
Justin Thomas isn't built. Justin Thomas.
It's hard. What I'm saying is, it's hard to connect all the baseball swing, golf swing. It's hard to connect all the pieces.
Golfers come
when
in
you're so
all
large.
shapes and sizes and flexibilities. You can be good at golf with any type of body type.
You can be, but it's harder when you're larger.
When you're stiff.
When you're stiff,
like Craig Stadler
or overly
isn't
tall.
walking through the door.
like
I mean, the walrus isn't. You know,
like how do you think Zach Edey would be at golf? Probably horrible.
Oh,
That guy's too big.
I
where's
mean,
that guy gonna find clubs?
Exactly.
what is other
It's
than
too many
basketball?
things
what-
to connect to. Remember that video of Zach Edey came out throwing a baseball?
oh
You're like, this guy's 7 feet tall. Why does he throw 82?
You guys were there.
What's going? Oh, well, no. There was a video of him pitching in high school.
yeah.
Oh,
But we were at a baseball game that he was.
It's like this guy's throwing meat.
So the thing is with like Zach Edey, other than basketball, what could he be good at? I just feel like his height hinders him in a lot of different things. To which, other than would he be a good bags player? You know,
Like
is he a good,
athletics wise,
yeah, is he a good bocce
be like a
ball
hockey
guy?
goalie.
No, way too. You can't get down to the butterfly. He's way too tall. It's way too much time to get from where you're standing to the butterfly.
He could be the new Chara on the blue line.
Yeah, but he's got to move. Maybe.
Enforce.
I mean, he did play hockey.
He did
Growing up in
really?
Toronto.
Oh my
Yeah.
god! Shoot.
He's the big maple.
I like how we're so uncreative with the Canadian nicknames. Everything has to start with Maple. Maple
Well,
Jordan. Maple Kobe.
When they become the 51st state, we'll be more creative.
Yeah, man, our basketball team's going to get a lot younger and a lot better. We'll get Jamal Murray. We'll get SGA. We'll get.
What kind of maple is Jamal Murray? Don't answer that question.
I'm about to say Canadian bacon.
I mean, not if they keep booing our anthem at the hockey games.
Are they now?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
Oh no.
Was it Vancouver that the young lady that sang the American national anthem they brought back?
Yeah. I don't remember which team, but one of them said, "Okay, we're not going to have young people sing the American national anthem at our hockey games because it's already a tough
ask."
Yeah, it's already a tough ask for someone that young, and now they're going to get booed out of the building. So we'll be having older folks do that from now on.
I don't get
because they can handle it.
I have so much respect for the song "Oh Canada."
We all do. It's a great
Yeah, I
anthem.
don't think we're booing "Oh Canada" here. They're just, we've had an interesting week with our friends up north.
I'll admit it though. We don't have a great song.
Whoa.
Can we get
we don't
before you get unpatriotic here?
I'm just
On
saying
the
that-
heels of the
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
Can I
And
save you? Can I
just
save
John
you from
Batiste.
this? Can I save you from this?
think about those words and the difficulty of like "Oh Canada" is a banger. That's
and
a
they,
great
they
song.
say that I have bad takes. Yeah, let's just go
It-
on the
now,
radio and be
people
like,
that do like it is a difficult song to
"Oh,
sing.
it's
It is.
incredibly difficult.
It is.
It's a great song though."
It's not a great song. I love it because it represents America.
There you go. Backtrack. Attaboy.
But
Attaboy.
I don't know.
Attaboy.
It's not.
I'm just
like,
wondering, can we get
you're like, "Oh Canada" is more catchy.
Can we get
Absolutely.
them to do the
Sing
51st state of
on
Canada before the
God.
Four Nations Classic? Because we need some depth at center, and if we can get Sid on the
coming
first
up.
liner,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, if we're able to drop Austin down to the second line, I'm going to feel real better about our chances. Our goalies though are great. I mean, we're gonna have some good goalies. I mean, Canada's got no goalies, but
That'd be a large 51st state.
he would be.
It would.
We would probably
51st states.
You would probably have to
I love that
take the
movie.
provinces and make
Peanut
them
butter
their
cups.
own United States, right? The United State of Quebec, the United State of Manitoba, the United State of Ontario.
Wait a minute. Are we acquiring Canada?
The current president would like to make Canada the 51st state.
Can we? I
It's a
think we
big
should
state.
look. We should trade
It would help the
Alaska.
relationship between the Rays and the Expos.
Let's trade Alaska
The Nationals.
and 3 islands to be named later for all of Canada.
What are we trading it to?
Yeah,
French?
exactly. If Canada
I don't
doesn't
know.
exist
French?
anymore,
The French.
Okay. 'Cause I don't want to trade Alaska to like an enemy country.
No, not to
Because
Russia.
I mean,
No,
it's
no, no.
connected right there to our land. I don't want that.
No, we can just put all of Canada in Alaska. We'll just
Happer's-
take
Oh, okay.
all the people of Canada and we move them to Alaska.
Happer's Beam guy writes in on the text line: "Star Spangled Banner is a whack song, not a bop. Oh Canada is a bop."
Don't look at me down the barrel like
I'm
I
just
have
saying.
some bad take that I like my national anthem. All right.
I like it, but it's not a great
You know,
song.
I just feel like Connor's keeping score in his notes app right now. Of bad taste.
Now I'm looking at these
Massive.
pictures that Cody sent on the text line of apparently he looked at Scott Frost's most recent real estate purchase.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's got
was gonna
some
do that.
got some nice
Can I get
features.
set up on the text line at some point,
Yeah, we can get you in there.
Yeah, probably.
please?
House got some nice features. Some good features.
Well, you got to entertain.
Absolutely.
You got to be hospitable.
My house is your house.
Well, I mean, it's a little bit difficult. Like if you're a head coach and you live in an apartment,
Yeah,
to have the whole team over.
Mm-hmm.
sure. We should just put a restaurant
Even
in his
though
house.
that happens sometimes.
Sometimes you're a position coach and you live in an apartment in Lincoln, and you're like, "Hey, wide receivers, let's come over to the clubhouse."
I don't want to subscribe to the Orlando Business Journal. Just give me the article.
Check Zillow, Josh.
Put a restaurant in the house. Cut the head off the snake.
Now, does on Zillow it list his address in Orlando?
Oh no way.
Cody's got the address on the text line right now. If you want to,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, go ahead and Google Maps that. Can we get a lay of the land here, Odson? Break it down. Break it down.
Yeah, how far off I-4 is it?
See if I remember my text password.
Oh, okay.
I'm in. I'm in.
All right.
Everybody calm down.
All right.
Is it close to?
2 bars and cellars? Wow.
Is it close to Kissimmee?
So I said by features. It's got features.
Oh,
Josh.
sorry.
Features.
I was trying to log in.
It's got features.
Blackjack.
Oh. Matt dropped his water. and
Oh,
it's
it
spilled.
is. It's a couple houses down from a lake.
Oh.
Yeah, that guy's got a
But
boat.
still in a neighborhood. It's not like.
What's the closest golf course?
Good question.
Is there one in the neighborhood?
There's literally one in the backyard.
Yeah, is he gonna
I
be
would-
like Bryson where he starts hitting golf shots over his house?
He's too stiff. He'll break a window.
I don't have a distance on it. I don't see one on this map here. I would say a mile.
Okay. Like, if you're eyeballing it,
I clicked zoom out one time and
Yeah.
there was a golf course.
what are the?
That's
No,
that's
well,
just
but that's
Florida.
Orlando.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
Florida. Is it a nice golf course though? Like how many?
Oh,
like,
I'm
what
sure
do you
it's
think
great.
the yardage is on that? It's a 5,800.
I'm sorry. There are 3 lakes in Scott Frost's neighborhood.
No, I'm looking
Three
at it now.
lakes.
That's
Yeah.
a big lake that they got.
Yeah.
Like it's a man-made connector. It looks a little bit like Africa. The one on the left. The lake looks like Africa.
Like the shape.
The shape
Oh,
of Africa.
Okay.
It looks like
Thanks
you
for the
don't
clarification.
I don't know if you and Connor were trying to say
no.
the worst thing.
No. No. The lake is a little bit slightly shaped like Africa.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, that's a better way to say it.
You got it. You got it. You got it.
Oh, it's a country club too.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
there you
obviously.
go.
It's not
Ding, ding, ding.
not a muni
Well, so
pickleball.
Heck yeah. What are the can we go to the country club? What's the pay in? What's the buy in? What are the features, accessories?
Okay.
What's it called? I'm kidding. Don't say that.
we don't know any stalkers.
And Gary, you know the lay of the land down there better than us. Winter Park,
Yes.
Florida.
That's like Disney World.
So that's where the Doc Rivers group grew up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's the proximity to Disney World?
A little bit of a ways.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, to take the kids to Disney World.
Like the parks are not like in downtown Orlando.
It's close
See,
to
I've
a
been there.
Whole
I've been there
Foods.
once, but I was young enough where I did not know. I wasn't in tune to where I was yet. I'm just like, whoa, Disney World.
My
Here we are.
brother's a Disney adult, so
I would
Amenities.
love to go to Disney again, like right now at
They
this
have-
stage of my life.
they have Star Wars World right now, which is awesome. Which is like the last time I went, I literally go, I'm walking to Star Wars World, and I'll be there if you need me. And some people joined, and then some people left, and I just kind of parked my butt, and I played with lightsabers.
Nice.
It was awesome.
I got no problem with that.
Playing with lightsabers.
Not at all.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was great. I went on the Millennium Falcon all by myself. Just kind of got the lay of the land,
Cool.
you know.
So
I would-
you'll have a decision here shortly about what age is appropriate to take your daughter to Disney for the first
Yeah.
time.
Ooh, 6.
Yeah, I think I went for the first time. I was under 5, I think. And then I went for the second time when my sister was about that age, and I was probably, I don't know, 10, 12, 13, something like that. And I loved it.
I think like 6.
It rained every day.
every 4 years.
2 o'clock.
Wow.
It does that.
2 o'clock, rain.
Yep.
Here it comes.
6, 10,
Rides
14.
are shut down for a couple minutes. We'll
every
get 'em
4
back.
years. You know.
Say again.
6, 10, 14.
6, 10, 14.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna have 3 trips to Disney World in
That's
my,
what we did.
in
It
my
was awesome.
future.
And then we did one at 18. It was awesome.
But yeah, I want to. We'll make the voyage. At some
Disneyland
point.
is great though too. If you want to go to California,
See, I'd never been out west,
Disneyland.
out California way.
You can go to Disneyland, and then right after you go to an Angels game.
I'm sure many people do that.
I did that. It was awesome.
They forget that the Angels play there.
Yeah,
I do.
The whole Anaheim area has forgotten.
I definitely forget sometimes. I forget the Angels exist. A couple days ago, I saw some videos of the Angels. You know, it was like the early mid 2000s, and they were like in the World Series. I'm like, whoa, that was the Angels.
Yeah, 2000. What a weird year. The Carolina Hurricanes were in the Stanley Cup that year.
The Angels
too.
were like
So,
they were good for a long
Darren
time.
Erstad was playing there.
Yeah.
Mike
Oh,
Socha
yeah?
was the manager.
So
That's a great. Anytime there's an Angels 300 hitter on the Immaculate Grid, just hit him with the Darren Erstad. It's awesome. It's always under 1%.
oh, we were talking about this the other day. Do you think Alex Gordon will get enough votes to stay on the ballot next year?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
to stay on the ballot.
Because Ersty was a one and done, right?
Yes.
Do we think Alex Gordon? I mean, the careers are honestly relatively similar.
The one and dones this year weren't that impressive. Everyone who got, or not the one and dones, the guys who were on the ballot for the first year and got to stay on the ballot this year really weren't that impressive.
You think Alex Gordon's going to get to stay on there for a year?
I think
or
he'll
two?
stay for 1 year.
Okay,
Pretty sure Jimmy Rollins.
it's an accomplishment.
Jimmy Rollins is a good player. Yeah, it is an accomplishment.
Jimmy Rollins, yeah, he's probably. I mean, he's probably close to in.
Yeah.
Long way away from off the ballot.
No,
that's
I know.
for sure.
All right.
Okay.
Enjoy the Super Bowl.
Oh, I will. Go Chiefs.
What time will you start watching the Super Bowl on Sunday?
I don't know.
Oh, great question.
I'll probably be in. I don't know what my plan is yet for Sunday. I really got to nail this down. But, I'll probably be in the kitchen until the game starts. Would be my guess.
I used to watch before they were on location and their pregame starts like at 1 for a 5:30 kickoff. They run like NFL films, the
Yeah.
road to the Super Bowl, which is awesome.
Yeah,
Like
it's
at
good.
noon. That's when I would start watching. Now I'm probably not watching till like 3:30. Well, Nebraska plays at 1.
I was talking to a Chiefs fan last night, and they were lamenting about how,
Lamenting about the Super Bowl.
yeah, they were
Cry
just,
me a river.
they were just like, all right, same place, same time, same menu. Everybody else coming over, same thing again. Like, wow, it's kind of sad actually when you think about it, because it's not as special.
My
It's yeah.
So,
But then when 5:30 hits on Sunday, it's like go time.
it's game time.
my bar that is very close to my apartment is running a bunch of specials that start an hour and a half before the game.
Oh,
So
They
will
just
be-
text you?
No, I literally just accidentally did that. Someone else texted me.
now,
But
go ahead.
no, so I'll be there at 4:00 and I'll cash in on the specials and get my half off nachos and my whatever.
10 a.m. road to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
On
That's way
Fox.
too early.
Yeah.
Way too early.
10 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't have that kind of time.
11 o'clock. Bill Belichick drives through the bayou.
Okay.
Bayou.
We can
excuse
skip that
me,
one too.
in the Madden Cruiser,
That's a skip.
and then Kurt Menefee hosts 5 hours of live pregame coverage,
Jeez.
Wow.
including
Jeez.
an interview with
Tom Brady.
Mahomes.
The president
someone.
Oh yeah,
on Fox.
that's right. I wonder what his pick will be.
Caitlin Clark.
Bringing that tradition back.
I
Well,
imagine
The
he'll pick
pregame
the
presidential
Chiefs.
interview.
So is it recorded or he's there?
It is recorded.
Okay.
Kurt, when you're looking at DVOA, you
That'd be
gotta-
awesome.
when you're looking at
Well,
DVOA
well-
and expected play per average, you have to understand when the Chiefs get in a nickel, they're giving up 5.8 yards per carry. No team runs better against nickel than the Philadelphia Eagles, and for that, I'm gonna go with Saquon Barkley to win it all for Philadelphia.
He's not picking Philly.
That would be incredible.
Yeah.
He's
if that happened.
He's picking Harrison Butker.
Now, if he had another,
Nick Bolton has got a terrible pro football focus grade. I call him crying Nick Bolton when he tries to go up against a fullback.
he doesn't have to worry about re-election, so he no longer cares about the state of Pennsylvania
Yeah.
Yes.
as a swing state.
Mhm.
What
So
a
you can get the
wonderful
real,
city.
unfiltered opinion of him as a football
And the
fan.
Chiefs will be in 3
Yeah.
more Super Bowls by the time he is up for re-election. So
What a wonderful city
Um,
Philadelphia is.
I was surprised that he is the first sitting president.
I
to go
was
to a
too.
Super Bowl.
Like
Oh, wow.
I read that and double checked it. Like, no, that can't possibly be true. And it is. And it makes sense logistically. Like, it's
Yeah.
already a security nightmare. Why add one more thing to it?
Yeah, they could go terribly wrong.
I don't know. I mean, it's pretty. They lock it down pretty good in there, right?
I've never been to one, and I probably will never be to one.
Unless the lights shut out again.
Oh, that was a call in. They definitely made that call. They're like, this isn't competitive enough. We gotta.
We got to get the people.
That
talking.
was crazy.
Someone definitely went and took the tweezers.
That was kind of scary at the time.
Scary. Yeah, I remember thinking, what is going on for a long time.
Oh, I didn't think it was scary, but I was too young and naive to think that anything bad could happen at that point in
I
my
was
life.
in college.
Imagine being young for the Super Bowl where the lights went
What
out.
was that? 12? Was that 2012?
2013.
13? I was in college. I was like,
More beer.
yeah,
More beer,
this is crazy.
beer,
Whoa,
whiskey,
man.
vodka,
This
tequila,
This is
more
crazy, man. You ever seen anything like this, dude? And all these dudes were like, "Oh, whoa, no, man, never seen that."
Did you go to college in California?
That's right. I was a surfer. Surfer in college.
Surfing Connor.
Was that when you were living in Creston?
No, I was in Lincoln at the time. That's how they talk in Lincoln in colleges.
All right. Have a good weekend.
Thank
And
you.
Good luck tomorrow.
You too.
Thank you.
Yes, big game. Big game.
Let's go.
We're both playing at
Jays.
1.
Say it again.
We're both playing at 1. Omaha and Creighton are playing both at 1.
Oh man,
Kind of a quick turnaround.
Yeah, I was thinking
Yeah.
about the Mavs. They just played an emotional game yesterday, and now
Shout
they're
out to the
back.
At
Summit
least they
League.
don't have to travel.
That
Good
is
point.
true.
Thursday. They play Thursday, Saturdays. I think the league's going to go Wednesday, Saturday.
They should.
That's a little better.
Yeah.
All right. See you guys.
Have a good one.
That's Crossover powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. It's Friday. We'll start things off next.
It's the Connor Happer Show. Are we sure we want to do this?
Could you, make an announcement that we're ready?
It's the Connor Happer Show on 1620, The Zone.
All right, welcome in, everybody. Happy Friday. It is the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer, Josh Odson with you. Super duper Friday. Hello.
This is it.
Yep, here we go. We will have our preview of the game. We'll ask some questions. I'll throw some props your way. I imagine a lot of the props that I put on my sheet here, Josh, you're probably not a fan of because the number starts with 1 or a minus.
Coward.
Josh, I invite you to talk to our dear friend Bet Free Mike, who, Josh is like, I only do bets that start with 7s. And he'd probably be like, oh, you got a little bit of an issue there.
Not entirely true. Haven't placed a bet.
All right. Well, maybe I can convince you to do some today.
I mean, if I get the hell out of here this afternoon.
I think you will, Josh. I have faith in you.
I don't think I will.
I believe in you. I believe in you and your hard work.
Nobody likes the work I do anyway.
With
so
the hard
I'll
work
just leave.
and a dream, Josh, you can accomplish anything you want.
Okay.
Anything you want.
That's the spirit.
Bryan Munson will join the show coming up at the top of the hour. Brian Christopherson at 11:30. Steve Sipple at 12:30. If he answers his phone, that's the lineup. Powered by the referees at John Higgins Weather Guard. Want to hear from you guys? 402-951-1620 on the hotline. You can call or text that number. Tweet at Happer Show, at Connor Happer on the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed, or at producer_Josh. Email Connor, Josh O, 1620thezone.com on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox, where we take banking personally. And comment and watch along with us on YouTube, 1620 The Zone TV, zonetv.live. We need to get some emojis in the chat today.
Oh, it's got to be a football emoji, right?
I don't know. I just really like
last one.
That one day I came in, I was like, I need some shrimp or some crabs or something like that. So how about some cupcakes?
Yeah, can we get some cupcakes in the chat?
Yeah. If you're here, throw us a cupcake. Some cupcakes in the chat. Send those in there. And watch us along on YouTube. We have many other things that we have to get to today. Of course, the Super Bowl. And we'll ask some questions and we'll give out some props during the show today. Creighton basketball this weekend at home against Marquette. We need a fun nickname for this game. Josh, we know that Creighton UConn next Tuesday will be. Oh man, I don't. There's so many colors.
Hell and a sack.
Thank you. What's Creighton Marquette?
Okay, we've got.
We can't force it.
I know. Let's think about this. We got a Blue Jay.
Yeah, we got a lot of blue.
And okay, maybe that's the angle.
Powder blue off. Something like, I don't know. We need something because it's a big one. Battle for the Big East. Part of the battle of the Big East between Creighton and Marquette tomorrow afternoon. Take you through some of the series history, and it may not surprise people to hear that series is pretty even over the years. By the way, speaking of the Jays, quickly,
both birds.
John Bishop.
I do know John Bishop. Yes,
he had seriously a great conversation with Fedor Zugic on the 1620 The Jays podcast. I think they played maybe part of it yesterday on the show.
He's close.
He's close, as Donnie Marshall would say. And John asked Fedor to call Stephen Ashworth's banked in 3 from the corner in his native language.
Oh, okay.
Jason Green je out of bounds. Steven Ashworth ide I stavlja blok na Ryana Cockbrennera. Ryan Cockbrenner nema loptu. Steven izlazi na trojku. Steven tamo. Steven Ashworth! Steven Ashworth!
That's John Bishop wheezing in the background.
Steven Ashworth! Steven Ashworth!
So that's we got that forever now. So that's good. So yes, we will talk Jays today. Nebraska, the big one against Ohio State on Super Bowl Sunday. The Buckeyes are coming off of a nice win last night against Maryland, who just so happens to be Nebraska's next opponent after Ohio State. The Mavs. The Mavs.
JJ lost the ball. 3 on the way. Good! JJ White.
Checking all the boxes, Josh. What do we say about this team? They are checking all the boxes for the Cinderella that everybody has come to enjoy.
Darling status confirmed.
And now they've won a game on a buzzer beater, courtesy of JJ White. That's Gary Sharp on the call. They played it on SportsCenter. It was the 10th best play of the night last night on SportsCenter.
Underrated.
And as they played the call, as they played the highlight, you know, the hosts of SportsCenter, I think it was Linda Cohn and Stan Verrett or something like that. They were talking over the top of it, but you could hear Gary yelling quietly in the background. It was pretty funny. What's that, Gary? Is the 3 good? Okay, it is good.
Wow. Really held that note.
Yeah. It's a big win. Atop the Summit League by themselves. The Mavs
climbed the locker and delivered
elbow
drop to a trash can.
I didn't even see the trash can video from last night.
Yeah.
That was it.
They sort of scaled the locker and dropped the elbow on the trash can.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Danny Busboom Kelly introduced in front of a couple thousand people yesterday at the Devaney Center. Very cool scene yesterday in Lincoln. Then she made an appearance at the volleyball or the basketball game, the women's basketball game last night.
Oh, wow. She was rumored to.
Yes. Where I think she was probably she's done talking now. I think she's happy about that.
Uh-huh.
She's ready to not talk anymore.
I just know that
she's definitely ready to not. She's ready to not talk about the time that John Cook said that she told him to bleep off, which she said yesterday did not happen.
Oh, he said, she said.
She's like, I didn't say the F word. Come on, John. Classic John Cook, embellishing stories.
Typical cowboy.
As he does.
I'm personally tired of hearing that the expectations aren't changing. I didn't think they were.
No, they're going up and up and up.
Yeah.
Her first game, of course, will be coached at Pinnacle Bank Arena.
Odd place.
Speaking of Pinnacle Bank Arena, got a few tweets last night from some people.
Okay.
They wanted to inform me that there was a young man at the UMass basketball game that made a half-court shot and was then due $10,000.
Hey, that's great.
It is great. But then, upon further review, the young gentleman, Noah, his foot was on the line.
Oh, really?
Yes, so they will not be giving him $10,000. I don't know why people were tweeting this. I mean, super weird.
Have you?
But
have you seen the video?
I've never encountered any situation like this. I've seen the video. It's a bit grainy and far away.
Okay, so you can't really
I can't confirm whether he's on the line or not, but I know they're not paying the $10,000.
Wow.
To young Noah, but they're offering him tickets for a 4-person loge suite at a men's basketball game of their choice for the rest of the season.
Did they also offer a time machine with John Calipari and Marcus Camby? Because that's the only time I'd want to go see a UMass basketball game.
In addition, we'd like to have you be a participant in the on-court hot shot shooting contest at the game you select. So they want to give him another try. The prizes include various gifts for making a layup, free throw, and three-pointer, along with a half-court shot that is worth $1,000 if you make it. Similarly to the program that he participated in, but there will be a time limitation, 1 attempt at the half-court shot if you make it, if you make the other shots, etc. So they're going to try and have him do this again, just with the proper set of circumstances, and courtside seats for a women's basketball game, and $100 in gift cards for the Mullen Center concession stands, and a swag bag of UMass gear. Would you take the deal?
No. No.
Once again, I don't know why people were tweeting me this last night. This has nothing to do with me.
No, I really would not take that deal.
But I did yet again last night at Pinnacle Bank Arena find myself in the middle of a controversy again, Josh.
Oh no. What happened?
Well, we played the FNBO Dash for Cash last night.
Okay.
At which point the contestant, maybe Sarah, something like that, was blindfolded, and she was trying to find the big card that was placed on the floor while the crowd was directing her there, and she was in the neighborhood, in the region, as time expired, and then found it after time expired. And then, yet again, Connor Happer had a decision to make. Why am I always in charge of these things? I don't know. And Matt Coatney, who was sitting very, very close to where the incident was located,
I did see this tweet.
Threw his hands up into the air. And then I turned over to
as in good, or I don't know.
As in good.
Okay.
As in good, but it wasn't good. And then I turned over to the person next to me who's really running the show, and she was like, "Just give it to her." And I was like, "She got it! Great job, everybody!" And I think everyone left happy. She won like $200 or something like that from FNBO, the longtime supporter of Husker Athletics.
So
member FDIC.
Are we going to get into a situation where these timeout games have to change to something that's a little more, or is the PA guy going to be forced to read a long list of rules in front of everybody?
I don't know. Because I've been put in some precarious situations.
This has happened a lot this year. And I've never heard of these things happening before.
Multiple full court putts that have gone in. We've had multiple half court shots that have gone in. Yeah. And sometimes, you're bumping right up against the time, or it's very, very close. Somebody's foot's on the line.
Everybody's just going to do the hat scramble from now on. Every game is the hat scramble.
Yeah. When in doubt, my thing has been to err on the side of the contestant and fun. Err on the side of fun, Josh.
What a novel idea.
I want people to have fun. And so
if only other people shared your
I may have just
idea.
Gave $200 to a person that I didn't have the ability to give $200 to, but
Oh, gee, I wonder if FNBO has $200.
Well, I mean,
they
I feel
change
bad
their name every 6 months
because it goes up $100 if they lose, for the next game. And so then if the next person gets it, really what happens is they're losing $200 because they would have been owed $300.
Okay.
Instead, they would get $100. So I don't know. You think about it, all these things rush through your head in a split-second decision, Josh. It's hard.
I commend you actually, because I would freeze.
Well,
or I would hey, let's figure this out. Let's figure this out, everybody.
Okay, what do you guys think, fans? They all say yeah, and then you're screwed.
That's a good play.
Don't ever ask them. They don't know. Troy Dannon talks stadium. Canelo Alvarez has picked his next opponent, and the Jordy Ball experience sees its first full game to great success last night in Clearwater, Florida.
You're going to have to deal with Husker softball.
Thank you, Mitch Holtis. It's appreciated. All right, off and running here on a Friday. Glad you're with us. I don't see that many cupcakes in the chat. What the hell?
Just one.
Back after this on 1620 The Zone. Cake is coming to Omaha. Sunday, June 1st, the Astro listen to Unsportsmanlike Conduct this week, which includes one more show to win your way into the show. I'm sure they will have a special phrase that you'll have to remember.
Blackjack.
And then when you hear it, you will call in and win not cake, but tickets to cake.
I love you like a fat kid love cake.
Nice. He does that person is not in the band Cake. That'd be crazy if 50 Cent did a Cake.
I would drop everything I'm doing and watch.
50 Cent plus Cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just out of like a morbid curiosity, like, okay, what's that gonna be?
I'd be into that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot on the line this weekend, of course, including Michael Severe's football fandom.
That's right.
Yeah, he's in our mentions right now saying "Go Birds," which, man, I don't know what happened to that guy, but he says if the Chiefs win, football is canceled. I don't feel that way. I kind of want to see history, Josh, but maybe I'm alone in that endeavor.
You want to see history?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if the Chiefs don't win, I'll be fine. If the Chiefs do win, it'll be great too.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to be annoyed either way, so it doesn't
Might as well
really
watch
matter.
a three-peat, a Chief-peat.
Well, no, they can say three-peat now.
Yeah, but I mean, everybody has to have a whatever Pete.
Uh-huh.
Chief, the Heat Pete, Cheat Pete.
All right, Chiefs Nation. Everybody's a nation.
Oh yeah, Chiefs Nation. Everybody has a
Eagles
nation.
Nation, Minutemen Nation.
Hey, what do you think Indiana Hoosier Nation thinks about yesterday's news-ish sources saying that Mike Woodson is not expected to return to Indiana next season? Do you think Hoosier Nation is cool?
They're probably thrilled because he's not winning and losing on the basketball court, if you know what I mean.
I don't. What are you saying?
They don't like him.
Yeah, but he's not good at coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Woodson, according to sources from ESPN, is expected to coach the rest of the year, but he and the Hoosiers are in discussions about the coach's wishes to step away after this season. This is what we call, Josh, doing the honorable thing.
Yeah.
Not letting the posse officially chase you out. Just saying, I think I'm done here now. I think this has run its course. But now it gives us an opportunity and everybody the opportunity to, number one, watch whatever bleep show of a coaching search they have, laugh at whatever they end up hiring, and make fun of the idea of Indiana as a prestige basketball job.
Oh, yeah, because
I'm sure they have many thoughts on many of the people they want to get this year. And maybe they end up throwing $8 million a year at a coach out there somewhere. Will it work? I don't know. History suggests no.
Why don't we just go get Steve Kerr? Like, why would Steve Kerr say no? This is basketball, Indiana.
Mm-hmm. They could have fired Woodson last year and hired Dusty May, and now Dusty May and the Michigan Wolverines are coming to
that's right,
coming to town this weekend. So interesting. Hey, you want to be the coach here? Maybe they can make that like a Danny Busboom Kelly situation. It's like, oh, you're just in town. Why don't we chat?
Hey,
let's have a talk.
Step into my office.
Can't wait to see how that coaching search unfolds. But I'm happy for Mike Woodson that he just said, you know what? Enough is enough. I'm done.
Called off the dogs.
Josh, you seem like the kind of person who watches NFL honors.
Ooh, you'd be wrong.
What? Really?
Yeah. I love an award show. I ain't turning that crap on.
Wow. That's why I figured you would be watching NFL honors, because you love an award show.
I do love when all the stars come out.
And the stars were out last night.
They were.
A lot of conversation going on about Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. How is it possible that the first team All-Pro quarterback is not the MVP of the league? And the MVP of the league is not the first team All-Pro quarterback. What's the deal with that, Josh?
Great question.
I think it was close enough to where you could. I would have been fine with either pick. I would have been
for MVP.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
I would have been surprised had Josh Allen not won it, but it wouldn't have been like, whoa, they screwed that guy over, And that's why you saw the split between NFL MVP and first team All-Pro quarterback.
Feels a little participation trophy.
There is a bit of a I feel bad for Josh Allen thing going on right now, and I can't lie. I am a steady participator in this conversation. I do feel bad for Josh Allen.
Just sort of Saquon has to get a trophy tonight. Lamar has to get a trophy tonight. Josh Allen has to get a trophy tonight. You can win this category. You can win this category, and you can win this category. And then you look at everyone's ballots, and nobody's ballot makes sense to where it's like, okay, nobody voted for Patrick Mahomes for anything.
Well,
but that's just voter fatigue. We've talked about.
I don't think that's. I don't think he had a very good. I mean, he didn't have a great year.
Yeah, let me clarify. Like Allen and Jackson had better seasons than him, but there are people that are like, well, Patrick Mahomes didn't get a vote for anything. Well, yeah, he kind of sucks, but.
From the text line from Aaron,
Hi, Aaron.
you say Patrick Mahomes kind of sucks
compared to previous years?
Okay, gotcha. That was just sounded like disrespect to me.
I would never disrespect the Chiefs.
Aaron says, I mean, you could not be the best quarterback for a year, but the most valuable player. It's not the most outstanding player. It's the most valuable. To say that the Bills without Allen would be good is laughable. That defense was bad, really bad. They also had they're also young and had no star wide receivers. Yeah, I think that's a really good explanation for how Josh Allen did it. But there is definitely I really like Josh Allen, and I need him to be recognized, and I feel bad for him that he can't get over this hump against the Chiefs.
Yeah, it's quite puzzling.
It's happening.
There's, how does the offensive player of the year not win?
So much so that they're going to change another rule this offseason for Josh, I think, right? Spotting the ball.
They're going to try and figure that out. What could go wrong?
Also at the NFL awards last night, NFL honors last night, Bill Belichick's girlfriend.
She was there.
She was there
with him.
Snoop Dogg made jokes about her.
He did. Hilarious. Bill was wearing his
Bill looked like
5-year-old 100th anniversary of the NFL pin.
Bill looked like you would dress if your girlfriend or wife told you need to wear a tie tonight, honey.
Why don't you wear the red blazer? Why would I wear the red blazer? It's a little loud, don't you think?
I guess
honey?
I get this. Those are the only two things that I saw from the NFL honors last night. Is there anything I missed?
You didn't see them misidentify black people?
What? No.
Defensive player of the year came up. I don't know who won it, but the graphic said Miles.
Speaking of misidentifying,
the graphic said Myles Garrett. I know Myles Garrett didn't win it. Patrick Surtain won it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so they got the graphic wrong for that. They said, ladies and gentlemen, NFL Hall of Famer, Sterling Sharp. And then they showed Eric Allen.
Ouch.
Were they standing next to each other? No, I don't think so. But
hey, it's a live show, Josh.
Got the wrong guy.
It's hard.
Yeah, maybe get a better director. You're the NFL.
It's a hard show. It's a hard thing to do. That's our NFL honors wrap up.
Good wrap up.
Good segment. Good job, everybody. We will, of course, talk about the Super Bowl as we go on throughout the show today. All right.
Wow, John F. Kennedy in the chat.
John F. Kennedy and Steve Jobs are both in the chat today.
Yeah.
What is JFK talking about?
I think Lamar should have won. He had more touchdowns. Just look into the literature.
So
you're look into the literature.
Okay, dude, the literature. All right. I don't have strong opinions on this subject, Josh, on the Josh Allen versus Lamar Jackson thing. I really can't. I can't get myself to do it. I view them as very, very similar players.
Well, I mean, some would say they're almost exactly the opposite of each other.
Really? Who would say that?
people who look like Josh Allen and people who look like Lamar Jackson to fight each other.
Wait, what?
Racists, race baiters.
Oh, they're saying Lamar didn't win because he's black?
No, that's not what they're saying.
Oh, what are they saying then? I don't know what you're saying.
They're saying that Josh Allen versus Lamar Jackson is another one of those culture war things.
Oh, no, it's not.
It's not. It's absolutely not.
Football players.
You're reading too much into it.
All right. Good job by all the weirdo conspiracy theorists out there. You've done it again. All right, we're back with Munson next on 1620 The Zone.
Bryan Munson.
Hey, long call. Comfy left zoom buster. 63 bang. Z Maui. Alert. Paradise Z Burger Y wrap on one.
Husker Online on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
That is right. Let's have our weekly chat here with Bryan Munson of HuskerOnline.com. Joins us now on the hotline. Hi, Munson. Hello. How are you?
I'm good, man. How about those NFL honors last night?
How about them?
Yeah, dude.
It's
not a Super Bowl opportunity, but I think for all intents and purposes, I'll take it. We got a little bit of attention going to Orchard Park, for the boy up there.
I'm very happy for my sweet, sweet boy, Josh Allen, and I think most people are. He's great. That's how I look at him.
You're sweet, sweet
yeah,
boy.
look at him. His face is just like, wow, I can't believe that, this guy hasn't really won anything of significance in his career. I feel so bad for him.
What's hilarious is that he got, what was the sportsmanship award as well before that. And I think he's privately known to be the Larry Bird of the NFL. You look at the guy and you'd say, never in a million years can that guy trash talk, And it's everybody that comes on, when they do the countdown on the NFL Network of the top 100 players, they all go, "Oh, that dude can talk some trash." They'll just all flat out come out and say it. I think that he's got that. He's definitely the ringer dude in that area of trash talk,
Yeah,
So.
he does it quietly though. He does it under the radar.
It was good. It was good to see that. That was an enjoyable little presentation last night. That was pretty fun.
Okay, we'll start you off with this. What's your Sunday look like? Your setup for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think I probably would have told you a week ago. I don't care, like on Monday or after the game, I would have told you.
Emotional.
I don't care. Yeah, I don't care who wins or whatever. We're gonna sit down and watch it. I really came to really watching Saquon this season. That was awesome. It's one of the best seasons I've ever seen a single running back have ever. I mean, going back to Barry Sanders, going back to Walter Payton, Emmitt Smith. I mean, he's in those conversations with me, like that was a huge season for him. So I'm interested because obviously there's a little bit of bad blood there too. I think that the Philadelphia coach, like walking off the field in Arrowhead, he was yelling at the crowd, and he's been a little bit more animated this season, I think too. And I think the KC guys, I think they've handled all the kind of the gaslighting questions that they've gotten so far in New Orleans about the officials, the officiating, and stuff like that, which isn't fair for them to have to answer on the biggest stage in the sports history. So I think that they've handled themselves well in that area. So I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I've also watched a lot of NFL, like the draft, predictions and projections, and it's got the Bills going defense in the first 2 rounds, and my reaction to that is duh. I mean, you can't score 29-30 and lose. Like that's ridiculous. So that's where he needs help. He needs help over there. So happy about that. But yeah, I'll be set up. We'll order some food or get some food going. Actually, I just saw some really cool stuff to cook. So maybe I'll go ahead and go to the grocery store on Saturday and get that going on Sunday.
You're the one who has like 8 grills, right? Haven't we talked about this before?
Yeah. I do have to bring that up in the most public of spaces that I have basically like my I could build the best fort out back if I just drug a blanket over the top and had some clothespins.
I hope they're more active than just being used as pillars for forts this weekend.
They are. Trust me, they are. So yeah, I don't know if it'll be like I love to do the fajitas on on the Blackstone. I don't know if it'll be like a fajita weekend, but we'll have to figure all that out, man. I got a day to kind of prepare, and I got to go back and look at some of the things I kind of said to the family about things I wanted to kind of try out, because I'm always into trying to cook something new or try something new.
All right, Munson, let's talk some recruiting here. Nebraska's big junior day last weekend. A lot of potential future stars and things like that on campus. What was the general takeaway from what the people that you've talked to, and the atmosphere and all those things surrounding last weekend's event? Yeah,
I gave 3 quick takeaways on 3 and Out on Wednesday, and I kind of gave some more this morning on Tunnel Talk. It was kind of one of those things like where I kept calling these guys, and everybody's like, the facilities here are amazing. I can't believe the facilities. The facilities are huge. And I'm going, I called Sean up and I go, I never had this kind of reaction before. He says, well, the facilities weren't done until August. And he said, and after that, he said, before that, he says the class was done in July. So everybody that comes like during the season, they see bits and pieces. They see the tunnel, they see the locker room. They don't get to go back into like the training table. They don't go get to see the recovery room. They don't get to see all the other things. So when they put all those things like squarely, into the tour and let's go talk about this stuff, it got glowing reviews. So that was the first thing. I think secondly, my big takeaways was that Nebraska has really reset their board in a very, very quick manner. When you and I were talking like in November, I think we were really giving some props to Nebraska to kind of how they've done things within the state, to the boundary states, to the radius states, and how they were really kind of focusing on doing that. And they had a stranglehold. They had a stranglehold on that entire area. They had all the kids that they basically wanted there, from Colorado to Iowa and the Dakotas down to Kansas. They had all those kids. now they've committed to Iowa. They've committed to Kansas, and it's like, what's going on now? And then you saw about 20 kids in Lincoln last weekend, and 7 or 8 of them are from Florida. They're in Lincoln for the first time ever. And you're like, wow. And then you go ask a Jaden McGregory or a Caden Cobbs, about what's going on with Nebraska, because I would have put those 2 guys like at the very top of like their list would have been Nebraska. Like they would have been there, or they would have been setting up an official visit or whatever. They haven't heard from them. And so there's clearly been through the changes, I think, particularly at the coordinator level, they went back and reevaluated apparently, and they made a lot of 2026 offers during the month of January. And they got a lot of those guys to take a visit and open their eyes. And then I give some credit again to Dayton Raiola. Dayton got a couple of guys to visit. He's going to probably end up coming back to Lincoln for an official visit with a couple of wide receivers that were both in town this last week. So it's very Dillon the year before, like with Dawson Merritt and Cortez Mills and TJ Lateef. There's a similar kind of Pied Piper thing going on there with Dayton, and Dayton is being very active when it comes to pulling things together. So those are kind of 3 big takeaways. I still have 5-6 stories yet to come, and 2 or 3 of them will be over the weekend or from Friday through Sunday. From still more reaction from the weekend last weekend.
I wanted to ask you, so let's go back to the first thing that you mentioned there, and the through line of wow, these facilities are really blowing me away. It's not a new thing necessarily that we've heard, but it's interesting how you laid it out, where it's fully open, it's fully operational, and if you're visiting during the season, there's a lot of other stuff going on too. This is a situation where guys can come in and they can, they kind of have free reign a little bit, and they can see the entire thing. Like, is Nebraska just now entering the window where they can capitalize off of the newness of their facility?
I think that they're able to capitalize on all of the moving parts of it, because I think that, when you have guys that are working with their chefs at the training table, like when they're going over there making up their skillet of stuff, and they're taking pictures with that, and then they're going to the recovery room and they're getting seeing all the options that they can kind of do for their recovery. And I think finally you're able to see everything. You're not having to put on a hard hat, close your eyes and imagine, or just know that a lot of parts just weren't quite ready for public consumption. I think public consumption now is open all the way back into the deepest corners, and Nebraska really used that kind of weekend last weekend as a great pedestal to get that in front of the recruits on during their junior day.
Yeah. Bryan Munson of HuskerOnline.com was with us. You also caught up with Rocco Spindler. Seems like a sort of interesting background conversation. I mean, I think he's one of the most important ads that they've gotten, just some certainty, I guess, on that offensive line with what he's brought to Notre Dame over the last couple of years. What'd you take away from your conversation with him?
He called me back and he said, I saw your notifications. I'm sorry, I was getting a new phone. I said, I just need 3 minutes. And I think in 3 minutes, I think I asked 3 questions and it took him 5 minutes to answer. He is a very quotable quote machine that I think Nebraska fans are going to fall in love with. He's exactly the kind of personality I think Nebraska fans envision and think about when they think about offensive linemen at Nebraska. They're gritty, they're tough, they're very smart. They have a personality. When you think about those guys, most of those guys that played, the pipeline guys, most of those guys, Anderson and Zadishka and Hoskinson and those guys, I knew most of those guys or played against some of those guys in high school. And that was like the thing about them, is that they had personality. Those were guys that, that were very easy to relate to and very chat them up. This kid's exactly the same way. And I think Nebraska fans are going to absolutely love that about him. And his story was just fascinating. I mean, how he had been basically living out of a duffel bag like the last 3 weeks, because he'd gone from college football playoff game to college football national championship game to into the portal, taking official visits for a week and a half to finally figuring stuff out. Now he's moving, and he's probably completing the move. Maybe he's finally into Lincoln. He's kind of anticipating being there this coming Monday. But I mean, it was such a crazy story, like from the eyes of him, because he never anticipated having to do any of this. It was like, I wanted to stay at Notre Dame. I was going to get my master's at Notre Dame. And then I think that, the way he kind of phrased it, I think to kind of read between the lines a little bit, I think that just Notre Dame wasn't going to promise anything. And he has professional aspirations, as he should. I mean, some of the way he grades out, it's spectacular. But I think that Notre Dame has just recruited so incredibly well, particularly on the offensive line, that, they want to put the best guy forward, and that might not be a fifth-year senior, if you can believe that. So it's a huge win for Nebraska, like you'd said. I think obviously you get the physical side, you get the guy that you're really hoping for on film. But I think besides that, I put this in the 3 and out, I think he's a leader like Nebraska doesn't have.
That was the next question for you. Like, it feels like there's some real leadership capabilities there.
You put that guy in the film room, and you put that guy in the weight room, and you put that guy in the team room, and things are different. And he knows what it takes from a team in terms of dedication and the guys what they need to do to get into the college football playoff, to get past a game like NIU that you weren't supposed to lose and get refocused and not go spiraling down. There's some real kind of instilled kind of knowledge and experience that he brings with him that I think is really going to do this team a lot of good this fall.
Yeah, I think so too. The more we come to learn about a guy like that. All right, Munson, we will let you go. Enjoy your fajita weekend, or your potentially impending fajita weekend. People in the comments right now are saying fajita weekend sounds like a great band name, which I agree.
We're a racehorse. That's a good one too.
Fajita weekend.
Think about that.
Yeah, if you ever buy a racehorse, you name it Fajita weekend, and all of a sudden you got a favorite on your hands.
All right, be safe, dude.
Bryan Munson of HuskerOnline.com. Fajita weekend, Josh.
That is a great band name.
Fajita weekend. Charles says Fajita weekend is playing at the Slowdown this weekend. Douglas says FW Fajita weekend is legit.
Fajita weekend does sound like it finished third in the Kentucky Derby in 1988 or something like that.
If I saw the name Fajita weekend on the odds list for the Kentucky Derby, or one of those horse races that I randomly will, like one of the 3 Triple Crown races that anyone actually cares about, I'd be like, yeah, I'm picking that horse because I know nothing about horses. By the way, speaking of horses, did you catch the shout out yesterday from it was Dannon, I believe, Mr. Yogurt himself.
Oh yeah, Yogurt Man.
He made the John Cook and his love of horses. Obviously, horses have been,
I've heard this,
around this job. But he had a message to Danny Busboom Kelly. He's like, hey, maybe don't be like the governor as well, who also has had a recent
incident
with a horse.
Uh-huh.
So John Cook and Jim Pillen have talked about their love of horses, and so they were finding ways to to make it so Danny Busboom Kelly hopefully does not have that as one of her interests. And she confirmed that was the case.
Okay, good.
She's
Protect
not going to go
her at all costs.
riding horses and stuff like that. God, what a crazy couple of weeks for her. We could spend a couple minutes on this before we get to BC here. Going all the way back a couple weeks ago when this whole, when the conversation started, and then, the way that she described it yesterday, it went from, like they were like, hey, why don't you come down and we'll go to dinner or, whatever. And it was at that point, Dannon, I think, asked, like, hey, would you like it seemed unofficial, right? Would you be interested in being the head coach? And she was like, well, yeah, of course. Like that's always the plan. Like you guys know that.
Mhm.
And then it became very apparent that, oh, you're talking about now. And that's basically, when it hit her that this was not a thing a couple of weeks ago. And then it's on you, and you have to deal with the whole John Cook retiring thing. And now you're coming back. And at one point yesterday, she was like, well, it's kind of a lot, this is almost too much. She will be best served and most happy when she's coaching her players and coaching volleyball and stuff like that. She's good in front of the public eye and all that stuff as well. And there's, no doubt in Nebraska's mind that she was the right person for the job there. But I think she is happy that the last 3 weeks of her life are over. That's how it seemed to me.
There was a
yesterday.
tinge of, hey, this is great, but it's all a bit much, right? Like
can you guys just calm down?
Haven't coached a game yet.
That was like the subtext of it. It's like, can you guys just chill out? And the answer is no. We cannot chill out.
No,
you cannot chill out.
No, this is not the biggest sport at the university, but it's the best. It's the best. Like, it's the team that is playing the best right now.
I think more than that, the adjustment for her will be, and this was the adjustment for Frost as well. You're used to being, if you're a person who's been so good at college sports and so good as a coach, you're used to people enjoying your program because they enjoyed the program, right? They're like, Louisville. Yes, I love Louisville volleyball, and I love you because I love Louisville volleyball. Thank you for what you've done for Louisville volleyball or whatever. But the adjustment is at Nebraska, and specifically in her situation, or in Frost, right? You're taking over this huge thing that so many people care so deeply about in the state. It becomes, on the scale, it becomes less about, oh, we love the program, and more of like, no, we love you. We love you.
I am interested in you.
I am interested in you. I want to know about your life.
You went to the Casey's? Oh,
yeah.
What kind of coffee did you get?
It's
the minutia of it, everything. The fish bowl we so often talk about.
Absolutely. Scott Frost did not like that. He had a tough time with that.
Yes.
It's
definitely not for everyone.
He erred in some decisions that he made early on about how he was going to handle all that stuff, and he didn't let people in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to kind of stay behind the scenes, and I think there's always that for anyone. Like, guys, can we just not this part of my life? Like, can I go somewhere and just be me for a second? I'm happy to do this. I'm happy to take on this responsibility, but can I just like live? And you have to, and this is something that Matt Rule seems to understand
and
extremely well.
Embrace. Hey,
that when
I'm going to be at the Supernovas game,
and I am Matt Rule, the football coach.
Yes,
I am Matt Rule, the football coach.
Like, that's not, oh, it leaked that Matt Rule's going to be at the Supernovas game. Like, it's like, he's not like, yeah, I'm going to the Supernovas game.
Yeah.
You'll see me there.
And I'm Matt Rule, the football coach.
Yep.
And that is the adjustment I think about Nebraska. That, and obviously the program and how big of expectations there are. I don't think that's an adjustment for her at all. Like, nobody has higher expectations for Danny Busman Kelly than her.
Right.
Like, she wants to win, and she's
gonna have the volleyball on lock.
Like, yeah, she's a competitor and all that stuff. Like, the different part about this job in particular, it's I would say quite literally the only volleyball job in the country where it's like, and think about it. Like, it's hard. You're not you anymore. You are, you belong to us.
Yeah.
Almost in a way.
And fair or foul, I mean, that's the way it is.
It is.
Yeah.
And so you can either embrace it or not. I would advise embracing it.
Yeah, because again, that's the way it is, whether it should or shouldn't be, whether you like it or not. That's the way it is. So pick your if you have to pick your spots and let us in.
Mm-hmm.
But we coming.
Nebraska volleyball fans, to Danny Busboom Kelly's life.
We coming.
We coming. Definitely. I think that was a realization for her yesterday. Much like it was for John Cook when he's like, okay, players, I am retired. Goodbye. But you're not really retired until you step up to that thing and you tell everybody. And Danny Busboom Kelly, welcome. Oh, I'm so happy to introduce you. Let's take some pictures. Why don't you say a couple words? But until you step up to that podium and you say, and you look around and you're like, oh, this is my life now. This is everything now.
Did you have the baby yet? When's the baby coming? Is it a boy? Is it a girl?
What are you going to name it?
10 toes? What's pounds? Weight? Length? Photos?
And we already have the knowledge of her husband as well as long snapper at Nebraska. Did you see Schick's bit going around today that he did with Lane Kelly a number of years ago?
I have, yes.
So funny.
That guy always finds himself right there, right? Like, I know that's his job.
He's like, I got something on this.
Always at the story. Like, I understand that's his job, but like, he's uniquely good at it.
Yeah. All right. I agree. We'll be back. We have Brian Christopherson of Husker 247. Talk some football and basketball.
Hoops.
With BC coming up on 1620 The Zone.
Hey, Brian. Bryan Christopherson.
I gotta take this. It's Hap.
B. Rooney drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry.
Bryan Christopherson, Husker 24/7 on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
All right. Joined now on the hotline by Bryan Christopherson, Husker 247. BC, hello, happy Friday. How are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
Good. How do you feel about Sunday? The Super Bowl, not the Nebrasketball
The
Super Bowl. Yeah.
I've come around where I will turn it on. I was like in that, that sort of poor sport crowd, like right after the championship game where I was like, football's stupid anyway. But it's not stupid. It's really a great game, and it'll have me watching as it always does.
You could be like our dear friend Michael Severe, who is apparently swearing off football should the Chiefs win on Sunday.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's not gonna hold, but we'll see. We'll see if he sticks with that. But no, I'll be there. I think the Chiefs will win by 3 points like they always do. So that's my prediction.
You sound very excited saying that out loud. It's like, yeah, the Chiefs are inevitable. They're going to win. Okay, that's it. The other Super Bowl on Sunday is Nebraska basketball. It's a big one, coming off of 3 in a row. Got some things right. Had a great second half against Washington. How do we feel about Nebraska going into very, very important next 2 games, both at home against, middle, upper, tier teams in the Big Ten?
It's a perfect setup. I mean, I know they lost a couple at PBA earlier, but they have to feel like they sort of righted that, when they beat Illinois in that overtime game. And both these games upcoming, Ohio State and Maryland, are quad one. I think they've done really well getting it back on track with just a singular game focus. I know, like right after the Wisconsin debacle, Fred Hoiberg said, each time out has to be our Super Bowl. And I think they've kind of dedicated themselves to that mindset. Like, gotta have it, gotta have this one, and then you don't worry about what's 24 hours after that. Even it's just what's right in front of you. And I give them a lot of credit for what they did on the road, because it reminded me as a Minnesota Twins fan or someone who follows Major League Baseball. Those West Coast trips, they are sneaky. They kind of can really bolster a season, or you can face plant. And the fact that they went out there on an NBA style trip where they stayed for 3 days and had their minds right to win both those games, I thought showed a lot of maturity on their roster. And the way they battled back and didn't get stifled just by the fact that Washington was hitting everything they threw up in the first 15 minutes of that game, I thought was a solid showing. So, if they can keep that mindset going forward, and I think you saw when Esijan has a run where he pops in like 4 threes, that can be what is needed to clear the hurdle. So I think he's going to be sort of that wild card who's key as we go down the stretch of the season.
Hey, just in terms of like how it feels, obviously, because you can't erase the things that you didn't do in those 6 games from your resume. But if they're to get a win on Sunday, does that sort of erase all the feelings that January had about Nebraska basketball, or is that gone? I mean, obviously the season is a roller coaster anyway, and you sort of follow it along that way. But it feels like if they're able to take this recent success and add 1 more to it or 2 more to it, even all that will be forgotten.
Yeah, I think you have to be dedicated inside your walls to the mindset. We're not going to, a month from now, be having this conversation about, well, what if we had played a better final minute at Maryland, or what about that thing in Iowa City? You have to just be like, we're going to be on a mission to not have those what ifs by the end of the year. And I think the last 3 games have done a pretty good number on taking some of that out of it. I know, like, even on our message board, it's still like, man, if they only had this game or that game, you have 4 losses that are basically 1 possession type games. I know Iowa won by 10, but OT. So yeah, it can be tough to mentally get over, but I do think that they've probably gotten past that. And Hoiberg mentioned how they have the sort of the mindset of, if you lose a game at home in league play, that's like your -1. If you win a game on the road, you're +1. You're sort of looking at it from that vantage point.
Mm-hmm.
And so what they did on this West Coast trip is they're at even again. They now, and so to your question, you just gotta keep even at home. Like this has been a program the last couple of years that has really thrived inside PBA, and I do think it is going to be one of the best environments, if not the best of the season on Sunday, because I think there's momentum. I think people are excited to welcome them back, and it's Super Bowl Sunday, and there's going to be some literal extra juice probably flowing. And I just think if Nebraska can come out in the first 4 to 8 minutes and play with that, like, we're here to get every loose ball and win the 50-50s, I think the crowd will feed off that, and it's going to be a really tough environment for a very solid Ohio State team. Although you do wonder what Ohio State, like, if they'll be a little emotionally spent after rallying last night to beat Maryland. Sometimes it takes a while, even when you have a success like that, to get over that and like, okay, we got to go do it again. So
right.
It'll be interesting how both teams come out.
Yeah, and to go right back on the road too. It's a little bit of a challenge for sure. BC, how much fun have you had digging up old Mike Eckler quotes over the last several days?
Yeah, I like doing that with a lot of these guys. You can go through the archives and really get, like, okay, at their last stop, what were the talking points? And what comes out about Mike Eckler at Tennessee as a special teams coordinator was just the expectation to be at the top of whatever topic they're talking about. Like when it was return yardage, punt returns, they were number one, like late last September. They ended up being number one in total punt return yards by the end of the year. And he said, yeah, that's where we're supposed to be. Like, he sort of, I think, did a really good job instilling that mindset. It kind of sticks out too that, at Tennessee, they were using like 6 true freshmen on their punt teams that were putting up pretty good numbers. So he was not afraid to play young guys. You will note in there, he gets asked sometimes about, like, okay, what if college football adapts to the NFL kickoff rules? And he always would sort of see the bright side in his answers of, like, if there's change, that can fit us well and we will succeed at that. So I think he's a very adaptable coach. He obviously has a lot of passion. I mean, we're talking about someone, when he was at Kansas State as a player, his nickname was Crash. He just, like, he lived for that stuff. Like, he had a piranha that died, that he put on a plaque named Carl after Carl Spackler from Caddyshack.
He really loved Caddyshack, it seemed.
Yeah, he did. And he's just always has had a great personality that I do think that part matters, like in lifting your room, like beyond the football stuff, like just an energetic guy who's like, I want to play for him. And I think it's a great hire on the surface. It's really hard to poke holes at, honestly.
So then his job, becomes, after we relearn about Mike Eckler and sort of like the legend of Mike Eckler, his job is obviously very important, but he comes with a lot of credentials to the table. And I think one of the things that I've heard over this week is people have been analyzing it is, well, he was at Tennessee and he had SEC talent, in the special teams. But what have you learned about the players that he played, didn't mind playing, didn't mind including on special teams, given, what Nebraska has been doing here for a long time? Like, I think he's not afraid to play whatever guys on his roster. It just seems that those teams have been just better, like that's my read.
Yeah. Yeah, remember who he was as a player too. Like, he was a guy who wasn't, this is maybe before all the 4 and 5 star stuff when he was a recruit, but he wasn't that type of player. But he just had like a desire to run down there and take someone's head off on a kickoff, and he's going to seek out those guys regardless of what their ranking or their status was coming in. And if you look back at his time at Tennessee, there's no question he littered in walk-on type players to those units. I just think he's very used to, he's been in big programs for most of his time. And, I also like that he spent a couple years, like 5 or 6 years ago, where he went down to like North Texas for a year, and he was at Kansas when they were trying to build it up. And I think that counts for something too, Hap, where you're a coach who, like, you've been like sort of at the mountaintop, or you're in programs where it means everything, like it did at Nebraska in the Pelini years in Georgia, and then you kind of go down a notch, and you're still just like working like he did. I think that can be useful, but there's no question he's willing to play whomever is going to just give him a 10 out of 10 effort. So I don't think that's going to be a thing. I also think it matters that he's used to a place where you're in the fishbowl. He's used to at Tennessee, where the assistant coaches do call-in shows and have interviews about what's going on with this and that. And of course, he experienced that at Nebraska too. So I always think that's something that counts too, is that you don't have to adjust to like sort of this where everything you do is under the microscope. He'll know what to expect here, and he's used to that.
Hey, how much? One more, and we'll get you out of here. Ed Foley's going to remain around the program. How big of an asset can he be in his new position, given that I think people liked, all of the other stuff that Ed Foley was able to bring to the table as far as recruiting and engagement and stuff like that. Like, does that feel like a win-win situation almost for Nebraska?
Yeah, I know he's speaking at the Lincoln Coaches Clinic on February 12th, and it right now is listed as Director of Football Relations. And I think it makes a lot of sense. Like, he really did well at connecting with local coaches. I'd also say this, since we're talking about him. I know we have we'll go down the route of acting like a guy who had a bad last year or something, or his units had a bad last year, that he can't coach football at all. He had his share of success coaching special teams too. And I do think if you look at his full resume, that's there. And so, like, if you were to go to a coach's clinic locally on February 12th and listen to him dial up some stuff, it would be very informative, and you're going to get some good level teaching there. But I do think he's a connector, and he's going to do well, at being a professional and keeping engaged with local coaches and talent and stuff like that, if that's what he's called to do. And so I respect, guys, when, maybe there's been a humbling experience, or publicly you were sort of taken to task by fans and media and stuff. You get back out on the horse and you keep going, and it seems like that's what he's doing. So credit to him there.
Okay, BC, enjoy your weekend. We will talk to you next week.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Bryan Christopherson, Husker 247, double Super Bowl Sunday, Nebrasketball, and the Chiefs.
Have we made a decision about whether we're sitting or standing on Sunday?
Oh, I don't think
we're not there.
I don't think that gained enough steam.
Okay. Because right after the last game, they were like, okay, do we need to do it?
That idea has been tossed out there many times over the years, and I think it's only like made it to the mainstream maybe one other time, and it almost worked. We need to probably give up recreating what that was that day. That was special, one-off, probably never again. I love great environments. You can have a great environment every game. Bring it, but that was pretty special. That was a little different on those Sunday. All right, we'll be back. Josh has the odd news on the other side on 1620 The Zone.
And now we've reached the point in the show where Josh Odson reads the peculiar, the bizarre, the comical, the odd news with Odd Son. Odd news, Odd Son. See what we did there? The odd news with Oddson.
Indeed. It is time for the odd news.
Indeed it was.
Indeed it was. Josh, have you seen any of the conversation regarding our dear friend Stephen Ashworth over the last?
Stephen Ashworth.
The people are talking about him.
He's not friendly anymore.
No, not that conversation.
Oh,
that the burners have turned to yelling at him because he is old.
Oh, yeah. I thought we knew that.
We did. I thought we did too.
He has a child and a wife.
Mm-hmm.
He has a planned family.
That's a good word. That's a good word. Yes, exactly. So I don't know why this is such a revelation to people. I don't know why they're mad about this, but
this isn't like a secret family that he has in another like in Milwaukee.
No.
Stephen Ashworth.
So good.
Thank you, Fedor.
Mm-hmm.
That's my part of the odd news today. Josh, what do you got?
I have the first ever advertisement during the Super Bowl for our friends from PETA.
Oh no.
They're they're gonna tell you that you're a horrible person during the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Especially if you're wearing leather. The ad features mindful mobsters, Frankie and Joey, wise guys with a conscience, schooling rookie mobster Johnny that his slick leather jacket came at the cost of a whacked cow.
Okay.
What do we think about this?
I will probably laugh.
Okay. It's gonna make people realize that the clothes you wear, if they came from an animal, you shouldn't be wearing them.
Will we still do like the Super Bowl ad roundup? I feel like that is kind of drifted off.
I agree with you, but I
years.
also think we're obligated to do it as a sports radio show the
Probably.
Monday after
It was
the
your
Super
favorite
Bowl.
commercial. I don't know. I only saw 14% of them, but I like this one. That's how the conversation usually goes for me.
Oh,
personally.
Well, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to pause the Super Bowl.
God.
Well, I have to put the kid to bed.
I cannot be near you.
I can't put the kid to bed at 4:30.
Just tell the kid to go to bed.
I don't know. I don't think that will go well.
That kid will go to bed.
You don't love me anymore?
Yeah. My kid, 6 months old, I put her down in the crib. Bye. Super Bowl's on.
Deuces.
Yeah. You can figure it out. Just close your eyes. Go to sleep. What's so hard about that?
Figure it out.
Actually, that's my wife will probably take care of it. Because
my wife, not that accommodating.
Wow.
Let's see.
Interesting.
What day is it?
It's Friday.
Okay. Yeah.
February 7th.
I've got bedtime tonight and Sunday. So yeah.
Oh, so just landed on the wrong day for you.
Yeah. Well, I would have had to I would have had to
break.
pause it for her because she wants to see usually halftime is where this happens. We're like, I guess it's bedtime.
Them's the breaks, Josh.
Yeah.
Them's the breaks.
Mm-hmm. I think this story is very gross. I want to go on record as saying that. But I think the audience will find it funny. So we're gonna roll the dice here.
All right.
Now, the last time I thought something would be funny, it was ruled to be not funny at all.
Keep in mind, there is a bunch of people listening to us live at Saul's Jewelry and Loan.
Hi, Saul's.
What's up, Saul's?
Get yourself a nice new gun.
Okay. So let's see if they think this is good.
The Memphis Zoo in Tennessee is celebrating Valentine's Day, just like they are down at Saul's. By giving fans the chance to send a cute red panda video to their sweethearts or a video of an elephant pooping to their exes.
Good options.
The zoo announced its dating or dumping promotion. It allows followers to exchange a donation of $10 for a video to pass along as a Valentine's Day gift. That's a nice price. That's pretty low.
$10?
Yeah.
$10, whatever. I could part way with $10.
Got an ex that deserves a stinking surprise? This Valentine's, let an elephant do the talking. Or maybe you found the one and want to send them something adorable. Our red pandas have you covered, the zoo says on its website. The zoo has also offered that this is good for more than just exes. Maybe you have an annoying neighbor, an overbearing mother-in-law, or a coworker that gives you nightmares.
Interesting. What if I wanted to send the elephant pooping to someone that I enjoy?
Yeah, like, hey, here's a funny video.
Yeah, they might like it.
Yeah.
So I think it could be used for many different things.
The Valentine's videos are available for purchase until February 12th. So still plenty of time to get your bleep together.
Now, do you get your personalized video of the elephant pooping, or is it just one video that they send to everybody?
I'm going to assume it's one video.
That's disappointing.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's getting the same one.
I want there to be a guy in the background saying, "Poop for Jesse."
Oh, Jesse really earned this one. Yeah. We go to Utah for our final story in the odd news today.
Stephen Ashworth.
Stephen Ashworth. A pervert who was caught stealing and sniffing socks is facing numerous felony charges after police searched his residence. Like, hey, you got a lot of other people's socks in here. What's up with that? Turns out the perp, technical term, I don't know if you know perp. You know perp?
Perpetrator.
Yeah, that's right. Roland Edward Brown began last year as a employee of a funplex where he stole women's socks.
Oh, a what?
A funplex, like a
funplex?
Like not our funplex. I want to be crystal clear about that.
A funplex.
Fun center for
a plex
people.
where you have fun.
Yes.
Got it.
Turns
I
out
have fun at Funplex.
Yeah, we all do. It's so easy to do there.
72nd Q, dude.
He was stealing the women's socks. He was taking them home. Don't want to know what he was doing with them.
I don't either.
But he had.
So how were they alerted to this, that this man had all the socks in his house?
I think just gradually people kept, going up to the counter.
Take a look at this guy.
Yeah, like, hey, my socks are missing. If that happens enough times, everyone's going to figure out who the weirdest guy in the room is, right?
TC writes in.
Hi, TC.
The policeman that was on foot patrol caught him. Thank you, TC.
TC's always got a good line.
Also, Charles writes in,
Hi,
Utah.
Charles.
Give me two.
Give me two. Charles
Socks.
knows the way to my heart.
Two socks, 2 pairs of socks, 2 times 2 pairs of socks, 2 times 2 times 2 pairs of that's a lot of socks.
2 times 2 times 2.
Once again, the people are into foot stuff these days, and I don't get it.
That's why I brought it to everyone's attention. It wasn't just us being crass. This is a real problem in society.
This is a crass segment, though, Josh.
Well, it kind of was today. I apologize.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Connor.
That is the odd news. The noon hour is coming up. We'll dive into the Super Bowl. Coming up on 1620 The Zone.
Super Week on 1620 The Zone. Powered by Moose Roofing and OSI Oakland.
Indeed it was.
Indeed it was.
Indeed it was. Super Week presented by Moose Roofing and OSI Oakland. Connor Happer, Josh Hodson back with you on a Friday edition of the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Josh,
Connor,
the game of great significance is Sunday.
It's happening.
It is happening. It is happening. And we're happy that it's happening.
Whether you want it to or not.
Yeah, you should be excited about it. I'm kind of angry at the people now. I'm like, you guys need to put away your feelings. Enjoy the fact that there's one more football game. Enjoy the fact that the best two teams are here. Dive into all the matchups, all the things, and maybe even find a way to profit off of the fact that there is a Super Bowl this weekend.
Interesting.
There's I see with a football game, Josh, I see opportunity. Other people say, "Where the Chiefs are in it again? Where? I can't believe it. Where did I put that now? There it is. I can't believe it. The Chiefs, they're hurting me.
That's what a lot of you sound like.
And then you sound like this.
Like I want to kill myself, jump in the cold and die of frostbite.
Get over it. Get over it. It's the Super Bowl. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, and I don't want the Eagles. That's somebody. There's a person out there who fits that category.
He'll give you half off jewelry right now, too.
And you know what? I say to those people, suck it up. Suck it up. It's the Super Bowl. Those people are like, well, I love football so much, and I'm so sad that there's only one more game, and I'm just going to get every ounce out of this that I possibly can, but it's crying instead. That's all I hear. It's very odd. So, the questions going into this one. So we talked about this with Chris Franklin, our guest the other day on the Eagles, and this has been in a lot of the breakdowns that I've seen. By the way, if you're a real sick nerd like me, as we've already learned this week about me and all the analytics nerds in college basketball,
we have learned this.
If you're a real sick nerd about football, I would point you in the direction of Bill Barnwell's Super Bowl preview on ESPN.com.
Oh yeah, he is a sicko.
It is hefty. It is extreme. And there is a lot of stuff in there, and it's covered from every angle, some of which you might hear. But like one of the things that I keep thinking about in this game is what we talked about with Chris on Wednesday, which is you start at the idea of containing Saquon Barkley if you're the Chiefs. Okay.
Right.
Some teams' answer has been, okay, what do we usually do when we're trying to stuff the run? We load up. We put everybody in there and we start throwing dudes at them. We're gonna make them really uncomfortable. And it turns out that has had a opposite effect on Saquon Barkley.
Oh no.
He handles, I think we talk about quarterbacks handling pressure really well. Like I think Saquon Barkley is a running back that handles pressure really well. You start throwing things at him from different angles, and he's just so shifty and he's just so elusive. And that's when the 60-yard runs happen. That's when the 80-yard runs happen. Those are backbreakers. And then you pair that along with the Chiefs defense and Steve Spagnuolo. Spags. Who has been Mr. Blitz. He likes throwing different stuff at people.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think one of the central questions of this game is how do the Chiefs approach that? My guess is that they do the smart thing and they basically do the equivalent of I mean, really, I guess what it is keeping things in front of you, right? And then hoping that your defense can bow up in the red zone, allow field goals, but what you're really, really trying to avoid, you're not going to keep Saquon Barkley from getting his rushing yards, but you're hoping, if you're the Chiefs, that you can get him to have 20 whatever carries for 86 yards. Or even 106 yards or something like that.
Just 3 games under 85 yards this year for Saquon.
And not having, 5 of those carries go for a combined 80 or something like that. You're trying to basically just bottle him up and keep him in front of you. Sure, take your 4, fine. You're not going to run 60-yard touchdowns on us. It's not happening. And I don't think the Chiefs would feel good in that situation either. Because that's quick change, quick score situation. Not that the Chiefs are incapable of these things, but as we've talked about throughout this entire season, they are a little less explosive. And they lack some of the things that they've had. I mean, definitely when they had Tyreek Hill and they were really explosive and high flying, and it was, Mahomes just rolling out and then throwing it deep down the field to whoever. Like, Mahomes is still obviously liable to make huge plays, but I don't think they like themselves quite as much in a situation, especially against that defense where they are down by 14 points. I
would recommend not getting in that hole.
They're the team I feel like that has to, like, it's so funny because I think with both of these teams really, and like I said, almost more so the Chiefs, but both of these teams really prefer to, and it feels like almost need to be on their script. And their scripts are similar. Long, extended drives, good running games, making plays on 3rd down. If you're the Eagles, making plays on 4th down with the tush push and whatever it might be. So I just think we're probably going to end up with a game that is close throughout. I just think we're going to end up with a game that's close throughout. There's a prop out there, I believe, and I didn't write this on my list. Biggest lead in the game. Maybe we talked about this with Alan on Tuesday.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't know if we talked about the prop specifically, but we talked about neither team really feels like a blowout team.
I believe that number is 14.5. Biggest lead in the game. I'd have to check that again today because it's not on my list.
Under.
I think so too. I think we're going to be within a touchdown or 10 points basically this entire game. Now, once again, if you're betting the over there's certainly a path to it, and his name is Saquon Barkley. It's him, it's the big horse getting loose a little bit, which can happen as we've seen. But I think if I'm playing this out, thinking about how the Chiefs are going to approach it and knowing how the Eagles are going to approach it, I just think we're close the entire way. Josh, there's so many props. Good luck finding it. I don't know if you're looking.
No, I'm looking at Jalen Hurts game log because you're going to try and make Jalen Hurts be the one that beats you.
I think so, but so Jeff said the same thing on the text line. He said easier said than done, but make Hurts beat you. Don't think he can do it. So that's kind of the idea, but I don't know if you can really approach it that way. Because what you're doing is, if you approach it that way, is you're saying, okay, we have to shut down Saquon Barkley. If you have the expectation of shutting down Saquon Barkley, you will leave disappointed. It won't work, right?
Right.
So then you're leaving A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and whatever. I just don't I think you just kind of have to trust the idea that you can hold up against them, Kansas City's defense against Philly's offense. I think you just have to trust the idea that you could hold up against them straight up.
Can you
just play them, And,
right?
And they're gonna have some wrinkles and some stuff that they throw at them situationally. But I just think you have to trust the idea of let's play them, let's stick to it, and we know that Kansas City has a lot of competitive stamina, right? They're gonna stay in it and they're gonna keep doing their plan, right? So I just think you kind of play them straight up. I don't think you say out loud make Hurts beat us. Don't let Saquon beat us.
No big plays. If it takes
you can't focus on one guy or the other because they have so many options.
If it takes them 14 plays and 7.5 minutes to drive down the field and they score a touchdown, we can live with that. We're happy there.
Yes. But obviously, preferably, you
hold them to a field goal.
Hold them to a field goal.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Jalen Hurts just won 300-yard passing game this year, and that was all the way back in September.
So with that being said, I have some
It was
props.
in New Orleans, though. So
Oh, well, they're not playing the Saints, are they?
No, they're not.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. By the way, Theo writes in.
Hi, Theo.
Proud of the show for not slurping the Chiefs like the rest of the station.
We would never disrespect the Chiefs.
Are we? Well, I mean, we know Gary's a Chiefs honk.
Yeah.
Nobody else is a Chiefs honk.
No other honks.
I'm kind of like, I really like I mean, not like the Chiefs, but I respect what they're doing and how they're winning games. I feel like I respect how they're winning games more than others. You know, I think some people look at them and they look at the numbers and they're like, this is just a world-class run of luck that they've had. And,
but not
and
luck, not luck in the sense of, they're getting lucky to win.
Oh, the refs.
They are mentally very good.
Yeah, they're in they win in the margins. So no, I mean, like, I have a ton of respect for those type of teams. Those are the type of teams that are like almost inevitable. Once again, I made the comparison yesterday to Iowa with Patrick Mahomes. Could you imagine Iowa with Patrick Mahomes?
Gross.
They would never lose.
Dirty.
They would never, ever lose. So here's some props for you, Josh. These will all follow the line of, I think, what I just laid out to you. That it's going to be close throughout. That the Chiefs are going to not shut down, but bottle up Saquon Barkley. There's a difference, right? He's not going to have 20 rushing yards. He's going to have probably close to 100, but they want him to work hard to get there. And these will sort of follow this. Saquon Barkley, longest rush. The number is, some might say, very low. 23.5. When you see that number, Josh, you say
23 and a half.
23 and a half. He's going to rip off a 50-yarder in this game. Come on. Well, I am saying under.
I'm going to go under, too. That sounds like a big, I mean, that's almost a quarter of the football field. I don't know if you guys knew that.
I mean, 24 yards won't seem like much when it's actually happening.
Yeah.
Under 23 and a half as of last night was minus 114 on the FanDuel Sportsbook. So I have that. Jalen Hurts over 8.5 carries. 8.5 rushing carries in the game. I think he will be. I think they'll have to deploy him. There will be
couple tush pushes,
several tush pushes,
couple goal lines,
a lot of goal line stuff.
Kneel downs count as a rush.
Yep.
So like end of the first half, yeah,
some scrambies. I think 8.5. It's minus 138, so there's a little juice there, but I like the over. Patrick Mahomes to throw an interception. Plus 110. I feel better about that one than this one. Jalen Hurts to throw an interception. Plus 116. I think that's been tried and true pretty much this year. Quarterbacks
he gonna do one?
Well, not him specifically, but quarterbacks generally throwing interceptions.
He has not thrown a pick in the playoffs.
Yeah, right. So I'm taking one plus 116.
Okay.
Harrison Butker.
Careful.
Over 7.5 kicking points.
Ooh.
Harrison Butker over 7.5 kicking points is minus 130. Couple extra points, couple field goals gets you home.
Yeah,
that's all I'm looking for. 2 field goals and 2 extra points.
Yeah,
that gets you home, right? Team to record. This is the following ones. Well, okay, let's do this one first. Total punts. Our classic every year, 6.5 plus 102. Give me the over.
Yeah.
Love it. I love it.
I
love doing this every year and rooting for punts.
Pretty decent defenses.
Being the only person at the Super Bowl party who's rooting for punts. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. And then we'll go a little further off the board here. Team to record the first sack of the game.
Oh, okay.
Which team will have a sack first? I'm saying the Philadelphia Eagles.
That's where I would go too.
Plus 106.
With that good O-line, the good D-line. Chiefs. Their O-line is.
I just think Philly will be
flows.
running a little bit early in the game, especially to kind of feel things out a little bit. And so I'm going to, I think Philly's going to have an opportunity to get a sack early. Plus 106. Some touchdown score flyers. I'm not saying all these guys are going to score a touchdown, but here's some things that I am interested in.
Okay, I've got an idea on this as well.
Saquon Barkley minus 190 to score a touchdown in the Super Bowl. I mean, it's a lot of juice, but I like it.
You're gonna win.
Jalen Hurts minus 115. That has to be a rushing touchdown. Patrick Mahomes plus 400. That has to be a rushing touchdown, Josh.
He's only, I guess now it's 3 times. He had only done it twice until the AFC Championship game where he ran one.
In the playoffs, all the stops are out. It's that story.
Yeah.
Basically. All bets are off, maybe. What might I say, Josh? Here's a flyer for you. A touchdown by the Philadelphia defense.
Ooh.
Plus 650. I think it's worth the flyer.
Okay. Little pick 6 action, little scoop and score.
Something.
Okay.
And Samaje Perine, plus 950. As Mitch Holtis would say, I love you, Samaje Perine.
That's right. He did say that.
I love you, Samaje Perine.
Why are there so many people in the booth?
A lot of things to do, Josh.
I guess.
I love you, Samaje Perine.
I guess people say that when the Reavers show up somewhere. Why do you have so many people in your booth?
Well,
Steven Ashford. Steven Ashford.
That's me. If Samaje Perine. All right, exact score. Josh, we have some history here.
We do. We floated one.
The funny version is the one that we floated on, I believe it was December 3rd.
Yeah, first week of December.
On this show, during NFL Reaction Overreaction, we are destined to get a Chiefs-Eagles 17-13 game. And so that's what I have lined up as a funny version, plus 26,000. I love sprinkling like a dollar or two on the exact scores every year
because it's such long odds that you don't want to put a lot of money on it. But if you do actually,
you do not.
Then you get to screenshot it and send it out to everybody. I told you so.
My real version, my real score that I am picking.
Are we doing this
for this game?
Okay,
is Chiefs 26, Eagles 21. That exact score on the FanDuel Sportsbook last night was plus 39,000, which is significantly longer odds than the funny version, which I think is funny in and of itself. 26-21, which means I have the Chiefs to cover the 1.5 and the under for the Super Bowl.
Gosh, 17-13, it'd be a very good game, but I think that would frustrate me with how low scoring that is. Like it'd be a long stretches of nothing, right? Which would not be fun to watch. Connor.
Yeah.
Saquon Barkley's birthday is Sunday.
Oh, Josh.
I don't know if we've talked about this.
Now you love doing this.
I love doing what?
You love just taking this little tidbit of information and saying it's his birthday.
Well, everything is a story. Everything is a narrative. Like nothing just happens.
You love narratives.
I do love narratives. God, they're so good. But why would you ever pick against the Chiefs? Until someone beats them, they are unbeatable. They are Thanos with the glove, all the Infinity Stones, and they will snap the Eagles away 30-24 on Super Bowl Sunday.
24. What's that exact score right now?
I don't know. It will be Travis Kelce's last football game.
Oh, there's a prediction. Can you bet on that somewhere?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I'd really like to.
Let me see if I can find that correct score for you, Josh. There are just so many options. There's so many. What did you say? 30-24?
That's right. In favor of the Kansas City Chiefs.
30-24 is one of the more popular scores, plus 12,000. By the way, if you wanted to flip that 17-13 thing, because we're going to take credit for it if the Eagles win 17-13 too, because I didn't specify who was going to win at the time. The Eagles winning 17-13 can get you plus 25,000.
Hello.
Just a little shorter odds than the reverse score. Platcat tweets into the show.
Hi, Platcat. Yeah, if Platcat's got something, I want to know about it. That guy is
Platcat's got a lot
dialed in.
He's got a lot.
Platcat, have you met Mike?
He says the correct long shot touchdown scorer will be Noah Gray. Anytime touchdown score plus 650, and to score 2 or more touchdowns, Noah Gray plus 10,000.
I like that he also has he has there's an option on the FanDuel Sportsbook, follow bet on lock screen. He has that turned off, for the record. I would recommend not putting yourself through the hell of having that on every time you check the time on your phone.
No. Set it and forget it. Let's see. Mike writes in.
Hi, Mike.
Bet free, Mike.
We're sorry.
Drunk Connor in Vegas. Connor talking about the Chiefs. I respect that. Handshake me. I do.
You're very respectful.
I have grown so much respect for the Chiefs. I love how they win football games now. I really do. I respect that, how they do it with the weapons that they have. Now, like, people always come back and they're like, Connor, they have Patrick Mahomes. And I'm like, I get it. I know what you're saying, but watch them. Like, watch the way they play. They are purposefully getting into these close games and then finding ways to win at the end of them. Like, I mean, I'm sure they'd prefer to win by 3 touchdowns, but I don't think they're capable. So they're getting into these close games and they have cracked the code. They found the formula. They have the intestinal fortitude, the testicular fortitude to be able to win these football games close. They don't care.
Terribly inarticulate.
They're the opposite Nebraska. They're reverse. They're bizarro world Nebraska.
That's actually a great.
It's like,
way
hey, we're going to get
it.
these close games and we're going to lose them every time. That's Nebraska.
We just don't know how to do it.
How do we do it?
Meanwhile, I mean, we've all done this over the last 3 seasons where you're just like cackling at the screen, like, oh my gosh, how have they pulled this off? They were dead in the water, or boy, sure didn't think they would do it, and just, oh my gosh, these guys did it again. Just, I can't believe it when I watch them. Like, I'm not going to pick against them. Do I think they're the better football team? I don't necessarily think they are, but
can't pick against them.
Yeah,
couldn't do it. Wouldn't be prudent, Josh.
It would not be prudent.
Sith Destroyer 1 writes in.
Hi, Sith Destroyer 1.
You love how they win football games the same way Nebraska loses football games.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I didn't even see that comment before I said that, but you're completely right. That's exactly correct. That's why I've grown this respect for Iowa over the last several years. I'm like, damn, I'm jealous of that. I love that.
Just
That's
emotionless football robots designed to do one thing, march down the field.
Oh,
and
what's
win.
that? What's the score at the end of the game? Chiefs more than other team?
Yeah.
Great. Don't ask me about anything else. I do not care. We do not care, as Mike Tomlin would say. Black Cat writes in.
Hi, Black Cat.
If you get bored, Ohio State football Twitter is doing a bracket of plays of the year. It's basically just a best of Gus Johnson calls. Hello. Sounds like there's might be some drops in there. I have an idea of what the one seed in the East region would be, and that is Mr. Captain Jack. Is he still on here, Josh?
I actually took him off for today, for today's, because I said, why would I need the Captain Jack drop today? We need these local drops today.
Yeah, we do have this.
JJ lost the ball. 3 on the way. Good! JJ White!
JJ White greater than JJ Watt.
Important note.
JJ White has won something.
Important note. Venmo Chris writes in.
Hi, Venmo Chris.
Eagles 31, Chiefs 20. Kansas City lack of run game will be their downfall. Eagles are more talented, and they have Cooper DeJean. I'll censor that. Cooper DeJean will have a pick 6 in the game.
Oh, yeah.
Cooper DeJean will have a pick 6. That's Venmo Chris's prediction. All right. I look forward to Josh's graphic that he releases this weekend.
Mm-hmm. Got everybody's pick.
I wonder who everybody's picking.
The answer might surprise you.
How much is Vegas going to take a bath if the Chiefs win? Again, this has been the year of Vegas taking baths. Vegas loves baths this year.
Put a pin in that and let's ask Alan on Tuesday.
Yeah. I don't know. I assume the popular Action Network usually has these things, but I assume that the public pick is most certainly Kansas City at this point, right?
Yeah.
Public betting. Wow. According to the Action Network, 66% of bets have Eagles, which is
really,
so that theory was completely wrong to me. All right. Maybe Vegas will not be taking a bath.
All right.
All right. We are back with Steve Sipple if he picks up the phone.
He will.
Yeah, I believe in him. On 1620. Also, we have to go get pizza. I've been told the pizza is running out, and it's
running out
literally 6 steps away from where we are right now, and they're just flying off the shelves. Back after this on 1620 The Zone.
Steve Sipple,
Hey!
The conversation gets even more uncomfortable, okay?
Omaha!
Steve Sipple on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
That is right. We're joined now on the hotline by Steve Sipple from HuskersOnline.com. Sipple, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm doing fine. And you?
I'd say fine as well. Fine as well. Getting ready for a good weekend of one more football game.
That's it. Except we get the spring leagues, which don't.
Oh, you're right. I haven't heard anything about that. Thank you for reminding me that exists.
Yeah, it's just something to. It's like that's why I never say, "Well, it's over." It's not completely over. I mean, you can have those things on in the background, on a quiet April day.
Hey, but just to be clear, I'm fine with football being over. It's run its course, and now we can all move on to a sport that we both love, college basketball. Sipple.
First of all, I'm not as quite as fine with football being over as you are. But I do like hoops, though. I do.
So much so that you wrote an update on Eduardo Andre today, and you're part of the Tunnel Talk, which I really enjoyed.
I explained why I did. I was pressed into duty one summer day when our friend Baz, was out, and I got a call from Parker, said, "Hey, there's this kid that verbally committed. We got to do something quick." And I said, "Well, I got it. I can do this." And I talked to Eduardo, and I really fumbled through the interviews, you can imagine, because I wasn't, equipped, because I'm not a beat writer. I wasn't a basketball beat writer. And I'll always remember it because Eduardo was extremely patient and kind,
Usually it works the other way, where like as the interviewer, and you're interviewing like a high school age kid, you have to be a little patient as they try to find the words for the questions that you're asking him. But in this case, the child was patient with you, which is great.
Yes. So I was, I always admired him, and he's interesting because he is playing well at West Virginia. He went to, I know you don't, this is all much for you.
Keep going.
He went to Fresno State. He went from Nebraska to Fresno State for a couple of years, but now this is his first season at West Virginia. He has started 9 games. I don't know how often he's in the lineup, but he has started 9 games. And I mean, I don't know if I guess I should say it this way. I don't know how often of late he's been in the lineup. Maybe he's now full-time starter, but he's playing well, and he played well against Kansas. That's where I noticed.
Okay, there's your Eduardo Andre update. I didn't know I'd get it today, but I'm glad you wrote about it this morning. That was good.
Yeah.
All right, Sipple. What has been your main takeaway over the last week or so? I guess a couple now, as far as the transition that John Cook has made out, Danny Busboom Kelly has made in the event that they had yesterday, and all that is surrounded this. Like I've been really impressed by Nebraska's ability to pull it off, in some sort of secrecy at least, or maybe top secret in that regard. But like more than that, how do you feel Nebraska, handled the entire thing, and where are they positioned right now with Danny Busboom Kelly?
Well, I hate to just completely echo what you said, but it was extremely impressive how they handled it, because it didn't usually. I don't know. There's a whole conversation there. There's no Pete Thamel covering volleyball, NCAA volleyball. There's no agents. There's not a lot of agents. The agents haven't infiltrated the volleyball world, so there's not as many leaks. A lot of the leaks just in college football when it comes to, let's say, I'm trying to think of an older coach. Or it doesn't even have to be an older coach. Just say Brian Day, was going to step down. Pete Thamel would probably be the one that gets that, right?
Yeah.
Or some kind of national reporter, and then it would leak out via Twitter, almost certainly leak out. And then the players, and this is the key thing, the players would have to find out via Twitter, which in our world, Happer, we're pretty, and I shouldn't speak for you, but for me, I've become kind of callous about that, which I feel sort of bad about now. It's callous. Like, you're just like, so the players find out via Twitter. Big deal.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Definitely.
It's actually a big deal that they have to find out that way. If the Nebraska volleyball players would have had to find out about John Cook retiring because I tweeted it out, I had the big scoop. That wouldn't have been it just would have been uncomfortable. And for the players, it's just like that. Oh, that's how they find out. So I was glad they didn't find out that way, because then as you hear the stories, it was tough for them. It was tough. It was an interesting, tough time, because there was the sort of heartbreak of John leaving, followed by there's just some excitement because of the person they're hiring, and they found out of that person in 15 minutes, after the announcement of John occurred last week, and then 15 minutes later, oh, okay, this is what's going to happen. Great. Think if it would have there would have been a protracted search that lasted, a month. It would have been hard. It'd been hard for everybody, really. So, no, it worked out. They just hammered it, like Nebraska and Louisville. You got to give Louisville credit too. The Louisville AD and his staff, Troy Dannon and his staff. The level of professionalism was exceptionally high, and I'm glad you gave voice to it.
Something Josh and I were talking about a little bit earlier, that it struck me yesterday. I felt like the weight of it, and Danny even said this out loud. She was like, "Whoa, it's kind of hitting me right now." But Josh and I were sort of talking about the fishbowl and how, she's taking over this job, but it's not just this job. It's all of the, you have to be, your life is sort of on display a little bit. And I sort of made comparisons to how coaches have handled taking, whether it's the football job, I guess it's really just the football job at Nebraska, or now this situation for Danny Busboom Kelly, which sort of reflects those over the past. Different coaches have handled it in different ways. And I think that sort of hit Danny Busboom Kelly yesterday as a couple thousand people were at the Devaney to welcome her, and the whole last week or so has been sort of a whirlwind for her.
Yeah, well, isn't it amazing? But she's sort of the benefactor, though, of that energy, that very positive energy. But also, let's face it, she walks into a great situation. Happer, they didn't lose anybody off the roster. Right?
Yeah. No,
is that right? Am I wrong?
I think I don't think they had any seniors.
Right, so they don't lose anybody, and they get basically the whole team back, including, and then plus 2 assistant coaches, and that is extraordinarily helpful that they get Kelly Hunter and Jalen Rays. I mean, because as she said, she pointed it out yesterday, DBK, that she can worry. I love what she said, by the way. I love it. I love that she said it in this order too, that she can worry about the team and recruiting. Mm-hmm. I'm glad she said it in that order. And then she said that, my staff can handle the smaller things. That's the way it should be. I mean, she can concentrate on what matters the very, very most.
Real quick, let me jump in here. They do lose Lexi Rodriguez and Merritt Beeson, but none of the players entered the transfer portal based on the coaching news.
God bless you. Yeah, because those are, God, Happer. I mean, we should.
Yeah, that's a bad deal by me. I apologize.
No, me too, by the way. So, Happer. But listen, we don't cover volleyball on a daily basis, so we're excused to a large degree. Nobody entered the portal. That's what you meant.
There you go. That's what we meant. Yes. Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Josh. But anyway, I love that she said that. I mean, God, right away I felt a wave of confidence when she said it leaves me to be able to worry about the team and recruiting. Don't lose sight of those things, especially your current players. The world that I've existed in college football, it's so much about who you don't have and who you're trying to get. Oh yeah, by the way, I have a bunch of players over there who have already played for me. And I love that she put the focus on her players, the ones that have played for Nebraska. Those are the players that need to be taken care of every day.
So this is the most recent biggest thing for Troy Dannon. It's been almost a year since he's been here, and I don't think we really. He spent the first couple months on the job, sort of getting his bearings and understanding the lay of the land a little bit, and now he's been more out there and he's put his stamp on it a little bit. What's been the Troy Dannon experience from a 40,000-foot view over the last several months here?
Well, he has his personality starting to come out, right? It's starting to, like, his personality is starting to infiltrate the athletic department, and then by extension, the fan base, and then by extension, the media, right? It's interesting. He's interesting to me. He's quick. He does have quite a bit of personality. You know, he's what you'd expect. I mean, of a high level Power 4 AD. He's quick on his feet. I watched him speak in Omaha during the fall, and I was blown away. Like I wasn't there in a work capacity. Well, no, I wasn't. I really wasn't there in a work capacity, and I was kind of like, oh God, here I go. We got to listen to this AD. Wasn't particularly excited about it, but as he spoke, I was like, wow. But then I found myself sitting up in the chair, like, oh God, this is interesting. You know, so he's not run of the mill in any way. He's very in that. Now getting to more important matters, he's aggressive, and what I like, he's winning oriented. There are ADs that you can say, well, isn't everybody? No, they're not. There's not all ADs are the same that way. Some care more about student athlete welfare than others. And I'm not saying that's not important, but I'm always a little bit dubious when someone's more worried about each athlete has a computer and doesn't worry so much about wins, you know?
Right. No, he seems really well-rounded. Like we've seen little arms of that, throughout this last year. Nebraska's had athletic directors, as you could speak to, Sipple, that have been, like you sort of said, about one thing or the other. I have to be about, relationships with the student athletes, relationships with coaches, or the financials, or, the academic experience. Like every one of the ADs has sort of like had that tag to him. I don't know what you would tag Dannon as. He kind of really seems like an all around, the kind of total package so far.
Yeah, but bottom line oriented.
Yeah.
Bottom line oriented, I think. I mean, you got to win. I mean, winning matters a lot. That's what he would say. Winning matters. Now, I would say this Trev was like that too. I like that about Trev. Winning, it mattered. He would stress that all the time. I love that part of Trev. But, they followed with an AD who's that way too.
All right, Sip. You have a final score pick for the Super Bowl this weekend?
God, I mean, we're really, I mean, Happer, Josh saved us today.
No, okay. Because then I got an email from John, so we forgot about Lexi Rodriguez and Merritt Beeson, and we also forgot about Lindsey Krause, who Josh also forgot about. So throwing Josh under the bus now, too. We're all idiots.
I hope people show us a level of grace. We shouldn't pretend that we don't cover volleyball. I mean,
you two were talking about the portal.
Definitely.
Yeah, and we're covering a massive transition, but I don't want to fool people into. I never wrote one column about it this year, but anyway, I never wrote one column about NFL either. So getting my prediction means absolutely nothing. I want the Chiefs to win. I want the Chiefs to win badly, though. And that's from sort of like a Raiders fan, which like
you love when the big brands win.
God, Happer, you got it.
Yeah.
You got it. I like blue bloods.
Yeah.
I like blue bloods. I like
the old guard.
Yeah, I like the old guard. Now the Eagles are kind of old guardish, but the Chiefs are really old guard. So I want the Chiefs to win badly.
Okay. All right. We'll hope you're happy on Sunday evening. By the way, are you going out to PBA on Super Bowl Sunday as well?
God, my schedule's so whacked. I hope so.
Okay.
Yeah, I hope to God I'm able to do that.
All right. Enjoy your weekend, Sip. We'll talk to you soon.
You're great. See you.
See Steve Sipple of HuskerOnline.com. That was a new goodbye. You're great. Are they calling us now to tell us who else we missed on the volleyball conversation? Josh, I could hear that. I could hear that through the phone. Who else did we miss?
Kennedy Orr.
All right.
Look, do we just need to run down the roster from last year?
Yeah, let's see.
Okay.
Let's see what we got going on. Let's go to the Nebraska volleyball.
That way
team.
everyone is included.
Mm-hmm. We'll include everybody.
Volleyball spring 2025. No, that's not what I want at all. 2024.
Go ahead, Josh.
Lexi Rodriguez, senior, Sterling, Illinois.
Yes.
Gone.
Yep.
Kennedy Orr, senior, Eagan, Minnesota.
Okay, so when you're a senior, that means you do not get to play anymore.
That's right.
All right.
Theoretically, eligibility
yes.
is a myth now.
Yes.
Layla Blackwell, senior, San Diego, California. Gone.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Taylor Landfair,
yep.
Senior, Plainfield, Illinois. Gone.
All right.
Mara Beeson, senior, Gardendale, Alabama. Gone. That's a really weird way to abbreviate Alabama. Lindsey Krause, senior, Papillion, Nebraska. Gone. But
we got them all.
This team does not rebuild, they reload.
Yes. They'll be okay. That was the point.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Although we recognize and understand the error. Amazing Daniel writes in.
Hi, Amazing Daniel.
When you're a senior, you only get to play for 3 more years. Just ask Ryan Kalkbrenner.
I would really like to plug into some of the Big East towns and how sick are you of this guy? How old do you think this guy is?
Baymon writes in.
Hi, Baymon.
Sheesh. All these players decided to graduate because of Danny coming. Yikes. Bad sign.
It's a very knowledgeable fan base, and we thank them for that.
They lost all those players, all because Danny.
Mass exodus, if you will.
Back after this on 1620 The Zone. right, smarty pants. Since you guys know everything, how about this? A little quiz.
Careful.
A little quiz, smarty pants.
I've never felt dumber.
I'm looking at the Nebraska roster for Nebraska football roster for 2025, this upcoming year. I'll name a player.
Spot the difference.
And you smarty pantses have to tell me what eligibility, what grade that this player is in.
Oh.
How's that?
Am I playing or is the audience
I
playing?
want you to guess.
I'm the proxy for the audience
let's
here.
Let's start with the layup.
Oh.
Because, by the way, if you would have asked me what Lexi Rodriguez was last year, if you would have said what grade is she in, how old is she, how many years has she played here, I would have said she's a senior.
Mm-hmm.
So I would argue that I did actually know that. But since you guys are so smart.
But again, you were talking about the portal.
I was talking about the portal and not talking about that at all. Josh, this upcoming season, what year of school will Dylan Raiola be in?
Sophomore.
No red shirts, right?
Correct.
You got it. I tried to make you think about it a little bit.
I'm terrified right now. My confidence is shaken from the last segment, and it's already an area of expertise of which I have none.
All right. How about Tristan Alvano?
The kicker?
Tristan Alvano. The kicker.
Is he going to be a sophomore? Or is he going to be a junior?
Tell me what you think. That's the game. Tell me what you think.
Is one of those right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to go sophomore.
So 2025 will be Tristan Alvano's third year in school. But last year, he did not play in 4 games, which makes him a sophomore.
Okay.
In 2025. So I don't know. Did you get that one right? You said sophomore, right?
I said sophomore.
So you were correct.
Okay.
Nice job by you. Nice job by you.
All downhill from here.
That one maybe was tricky because remember we saw him last year, but then you have to remember all the red shirt rules and stuff like that too. All right.
Okay.
Deshaun Singleton. Deshaun Singleton. Now, the answer to the question should be quite easy. I think it should be easy. For most people, they would get it. But I was going to ask you the follow. You can't even get the first one right.
Junior?
No, he's a senior.
I don't know.
He was a senior last year, and he gets to be a senior again next year because thank you, Diego Pavia.
So, if you're not touching the ball every play, I don't know who you are.
So the bonus question I was going to ask you on Deshaun Singleton is how many years has he been in college?
7. Fall will be 7.
So if I think I could straighten this out. He was in the class of 2021, spent the 2021 season at Hutch. Josh, I know.
Don't say that word around me.
And then he was a sophomore at Nebraska in 2022. He was a junior at Nebraska in 2023. He was a senior in Nebraska at 2024. And then when he returns in 2025 for Nebraska, he will again be a senior. But we remember the catch here with Deshaun Singleton. 2023, he plays the first 4 games. And in the 5th game against Michigan, he gets hurt on the first play, and Michigan was cheating.
That's right. People forget.
And he didn't get that year back, but I think he got his junior college year back. Shout out Diego Pavia.
Thank you, Diego Pavia.
And then he gets to be a senior yet again in 2025. They could really petition the NCAA after this year to get the Michigan cheating year back.
Mm-hmm.
So he could be a triple senior if he wants to, probably in 2026.
Is there a way that they delineate this sort of stuff on rosters and website? Because it's not as simple as redshirt senior? Like is it like
no
redshirt medical COVID
on basketball rosters?
JUCO senior
on basketball rosters, they'll do graduate, and that's like a catch-all. That's like a catch-all above senior type of thing. There's been a lot of graduates that I have announced this year. A 6'2" graduate from Oxford, Mississippi. Whatever. So yeah, that has been. I think that has become the sort of.
I like that. It's succinct.
It's like freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, graduate. Even though most of those places will still call them seniors, even if they're in their third senior year. All right, here's one more tricky one for you before we get out of here. Teddy Prohaska. That would be hard even for me.
Senior? But I mean, like,
so Teddy Prohaska will be a senior this year. You were correct about that.
Now, how many years ago did he graduate high school?
He graduated high school in 2021 from Elkhorn South High School.
Okay,
Then,
that seems like a normal.
2021. Then he was a freshman in 2021 at Nebraska.
Fall of 2021.
Fall of 2021. Okay. And then he got hurt in 2022, started the first 3 games, and then had an season-ending injury in the Georgia Southern game. 2023, he comes back.
A game you never watched.
That's exactly right. 2023, he comes back. So wouldn't he have been technically a redshirt? No, he'd been a redshirt sophomore in 2023. Still rehabbing from the injury. 2024, last year, he's a redshirt junior, season-ending injury during fall camp, missed the entire season. So he's technically a senior, but he could probably get another year back. Like if he applied to get the year back right now, which you don't usually apply to get the year back until after your career has ended, right. So you could evaluate all your decisions. If he applies to get the year back now, like he could go into next season as a junior still. But he is currently listed as a senior, Mr. Prochaska.
You could have made that harder if you so chose. Well, I thank you for not.
You're welcome.
But I did get 3 of those 4 correct.
Yeah, you're the best, Josh.
That is leaps and bounds better than I thought I would do when you said what we were doing.
Jeff writes in.
Hi, Jeff.
This is a great idea, Jeff. Make this a segment with its own song and everything. We should do that like once a week in the off season. Let's play a game, and I'll just give you 3 dudes like names, whether it's college football, college basketball, names that you know, and I will say, how old is this dude? Yep, and then we can hit this. Here we go. It's time for another edition of How Old Is This Dude? I'm your host, Connor Happer. Let's sit down today, and I put up a picture of Turner Corcoran,
senior,
and everyone says, I don't know. Yeah, those are actually the guys that are easy. You have been around for 14 years. It's like, okay, that's a senior.
I'm just going to say senior.
Yeah, you got it. We'll be back after this. Smarty Pantses on 1620 The Zone.
Good segment. The Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone. let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Here comes the clown.
All right, here we go. 1 o'clock hour, the Connor Happer Show here on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. One final shout out to our friends at Moose Roofing and OSI Oakland for their support and sponsoring our coverage of Super Week this week. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Shout out to those folks. OSI Oakland, always got a great gig for you lined up.
And Moose Roofing. But Josh, we're going to slam into this segment. We're going to slam basketball talk all into one.
All of it, the whole sport.
The Jays, the Skurs, the Mavs, or whichever order you choose to list them in.
Bruins, let's go first.
I don't have anything for you on the Bruins.
Okay.
I know a show where you could get it, but I don't have anything for you.
All right. We'll let them handle it, I guess.
Mm-hmm. But which order would you like to go in? Now, choose carefully, Josh, because this decision will affect the rest of your life.
Mavericks.
All right, Switzerland. Nice. Nice. You're like, I'm not picking, and I'm choosing the one that everybody can get behind.
I'm choosing the one that was on SportsCenter last night.
That's right. And if you were watching, you might have heard this in the background.
JJ lost the ball. 3 on the way. Good! JJ White!
It's a great call.
Our friends and our people here at 1620 The Zone do unbelievable stuff, unbelievable things. And so when they are rewarded with a buzzer beater or a last second banked in corner 3, they never disappoint. They never disappoint.
They rise to the occasion.
They always do, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
And it's so great because we're all great friends here, and we can all make fun of each other about it as well. Fortunately,
some people you can make fun of. Yes.
Well, Josh and I don't.
Not all of them.
We're not usually put in a position where we're calling games or things like that, so you can't put drops in there unless I say good segment or something like that. I'm amazed, by the way, that was the only drop that came from that game. It must have been. I must have kept it really low key.
I requested it from Joey because I happened to be listening at that point.
Yeah, just give me
one.
But
since then, he's given me about 2 from John every game now. He's like, "Oh, this is something Josh is looking for." Okay, like that's just Joey, Joey. Like just always willing to do it, whatever it takes to succeed.
So, let's count with me. How long did Gary hold the good in normal speed?
JJ lost the ball. 3 on the way. Good! JJ White!
How long did he hold the J White? I got 5 seconds on that.
Mm-hmm. It's a good hold, especially we know his voice has been strained all week.
Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm. That's a great job by him. I didn't even realize that. So the Mavs, or think about that at the moment. The Mavs are 9-1 in the Summit League, and they are right back on track. They are alone at the top at this moment. St. Thomas has since taken another loss in the league. The Mavs at home against North Dakota State on Sunday at 1 o'clock. And after that, after did I say Saturday? I meant Saturday.
Yeah.
But Saturday at 1 o'clock, same time as the Jays, by the way. After that, there's only 5 regular season games left.
Wow.
There's only 5 regular season games left. And then it's time for everybody to head up to Sioux Falls and just sweat for 4 straight days. I imagine there will be a certain amount, not that it's going to be hot, but there is a certain amount of pressure for a team that has never been to the NCAA tournament and has waited not that long, but like a long time to get there and have as golden of an opportunity as the Mavs do. And you might have the ones they still have a game at St. Thomas, and they have to take care of business in their other games against the Dakotas of the world. But like, if you go in there and you're the 1 seed, there's a certain thing attached to you. And I think people like the Mavs. People are like, they got this trash can thing going on. They got this crazy play-by-play guy. His name is Gary.
JJ lost the ball. 3 on the way. Go!
So, yeah, I'm going to support this. And so there's a lot that comes along with that. It's almost sweating time. That's what March is for. So I wondered.
You can't fight it.
I wondered. No, I would never fight Maverick Mojo. Mm-hmm. And so I wondered what it would sound like if I just made Gary do the good call forever, for eternity. Well. Like a composer at a symphony. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Wrap it up.
I want to try something if I may.
Lock it up.
If I may.
Yeah, go ahead. What do you got?
Nebrasketball is...
Now, Josh, it seemed like you weren't being very...
What are you talking about?
That was not truthful.
What are you talking
You
about?
sounded a little sarcastic when you said that.
That wasn't me!
You sounded a little sarcastic when you said that. Chance says not as good as when Gary goes. So when Gary says bang, it's not like bang. It's burr. It's like burr. I think we got some bangs on here, but maybe on a different page. But yeah, that's okay. That's okay. So that's indeed the Mavs. Indeed it was.
Indeed it was.
I got a tweet here. Don't forget about the St. Thomas angle in the Summit League.
Yeah.
They're still on the probationary period where they can't go to the NCAA tournament. If UNO wins the regular season and St. Thomas were to win the conference tournament, UNO gets the bid.
Or UNO wins the regular season.
Yep.
Your Summit Championship game is Omaha St. Thomas.
Yes.
You would know going in.
Correct.
You would know ahead of the game.
Correct.
You're in.
You are rooting for St. Thomas or yourself at the Summit League tournament if you win the regular season Summit League. Indeed. Delivery driver Doug writes in on the text line.
Hi, delivery driver Doug.
Connor Happer show live from Sioux Falls. I would love to go. I've heard great things. How's the
Wi-Fi?
It's a relatively new building. I assume it's good, although that didn't stop Pinnacle Bank Arenas from being absolutely ass. But, I wouldn't mind. I got to check my schedule. We're kind of busy at that time of year. We got baseball. Baseball
March 5th through the 9th. I don't think that means I think you're busy that week.
I think there's a Creighton home baseball series that weekend, to be completely honest with you.
I believe that's the first one.
But I do want to go because God knows I miss Arch Madness. All the little schools gathering up and just duking it out, knowing that there's only one NCAA tournament spot on the line. That stuff is beautiful.
Doesn't really seem worth it for you to go to the first game on Thursday.
No, it wouldn't be.
It's
only a couple hour drive.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they play during the day, and I don't know. Whatever. Probably not going to happen. But boy,
it would be a night game.
Yeah, indeed. Creighton. We're doing Creighton next. They have a better KenPom ranking than Nebraska, so they get to go next.
Wow.
They do.
Creighton Hall.
It's all about KenPom. So did we come up in these last 3.5 hours? Did we come up with a special name for Creighton and Marquette, or did we not think about it anymore? Because we know we have
Hell and a sack.
That's when Creighton and UConn to get together. Creighton and Marquette to get together.
They're both birds.
You remember what people always say with like the Nebraska-Wisconsin football rivalry or the Nebraska-Iowa football rivalry when Nebraska wasn't winning any of those games? It was like, how could you call it a rivalry when Nebraska doesn't win any games? And so then I say, damn, that's a sick burn. That's tough. Well,
tough to come back from.
UConn doesn't beat Creighton. So how is it a rival? In this situation, Marquette and Creighton, all they do is beat each other. 18 of the last 22 meetings have been decided by 8 points or less. Creighton against Marquette is 12-12. 12 wins aside since the teams joined the Big East together. The road team is 12-11 in the times that they've played each other. Creighton is 6-6 in Milwaukee. Marquette is 6-5 in Omaha. Greg McDermott is 12-12 against Marquette.
Wow.
He's 4-4 against Shaka Smart. There's no edges.
Wow.
There's no edges to be had.
What is Shaka's defensive efficiency rating against Creighton basketball players?
Dang, I wish you didn't. Oh, you mean like actually physically guarding them? Well, he did a good job against Baylor last year.
Yeah.
That's true. And then not to mention, these two teams are right next to each other in the Big East Conference standings this year, where Marquette is one game behind Creighton at the moment and could pull even with them with a win on Saturday at the Chai. Creighton could continue to keep the pressure on St. John's, who goes to UConn tonight.
Yes, Big Fox.
And then St. John's gets Creighton at home at the Garden next Sunday, which will be a very, very difficult place for Creighton to win. So all of that put together, this game is going to be hot. I think the crowd is going to be smoking hot tomorrow. Smoking hot. Red hot. Kansas City in the playoffs hot.
Okay.
You know, like Kansas City in the AFC Championship game hot.
Hot heat. I've heard you cannot get a ticket.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Travis writes in.
Hi, Travis.
Clearly, Connor didn't listen to the Grum yesterday. We don't care about the number, nerds. Watch the games.
Watch the games.
I love watching the games. I just like having the numbers, too.
I do like the numbers.
No,
I like the numbers. I've made this very
week.
clear. I like the numbers. I'm so jacked for tomorrow. I cannot wait to see 18,000 of my closest friends.
What's the key? How's Creighton do it? How's Creighton
make one more shot?
There's so many old men in this game.
Yeah.
Cam, Steven, Ryan.
Yeah. David, Stevie. Yeah. Ben Gold seems old, but that's just because he's just out there and he's just kind of the token lurch, like tall guy.
Fedor's a retired pro.
But he's a freshman? I don't know. How old is technically Fedor? I don't know. But yeah, definitely some old dudes, some guys who have been around for a very, very long time. What's the key, Josh? I don't know. Like I said, make one more basket.
Good strategy.
Seriously, I mean, these games are so close every time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, go on a patented Creighton Avalanche run.
Haven't had a lot of those this year.
Yep. Isaac Trout, nuclear 4 minutes. You know, you're gonna have to bake that into the cake.
It's a home game, and those tend to happen at home for the Jays.
Definitely in the second half for Isaac Trout recently. Josh, would you like to pick your role player of the game for tomorrow?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So your options are the same options ever.
I would like them to be listed.
Isaac Trout. Jason Green. We're going to take Jackson out. Just take Jackson out.
Okay.
Because we're going to keep Jackson in. He's a starter. We're keeping Jackson in.
Starter.
So Trout, Green, Jackson McAndrew, Fedor, and Mason Miller.
I mean, I'm gonna take the guy with the best odds, Isaac Trout.
He has certainly been the pick.
Yeah. Although neither of us picked him last time we played this game.
Josh, as I said the last time we did this, the Fedor inning will happen.
You're absolutely right about that.
When will we experience the Fedor inning? That's what I'm calling it. You know, it's like the happening, but it's the Fedor inning. And it's coming. I believe Donnie Marshall. Donnie Marshall, I believe you. I believe you when you say he's close.
He's close.
He's close. He is close. It's coming. And once again, I said this at the start of the show, but seriously, go listen to John's interview with Fedor on the Jays pod this week, 1620 the Jays podcast. Super insightful guy, a like big picture, worldly view of basketball. He's really mature. He knows what's going on. He sees the whole puzzle, and he's really patient. And so it's coming. It's coming. Maybe Saturday, with all my friends at the chai, the fedoraning will happen.
I'd like to say this on the front end so we don't have to have that awkward thing that we say during the game. You're going to need to make noise.
Oh, I don't
Creighton
think
fans.
I don't think people will have a problem with that tomorrow.
They better not. Oh my gosh, they're down 6. I better sit down and just really focus on the game and hold my wine.
I think there will be great energy from start to finish tomorrow. In my opinion.
There better be, or I'm gonna say something.
And when people, have the best energy, or when people have good energy, all of a sudden our good friend
Steven Ashford.
He will just decide to pull up from half court and then make the shot and then start to go to sleepy on people who are sitting courtside. I love the heel turn by Steve.
You know how we kind of laugh at Steve Sipple for loving the sniff in the first down point.
Yeah, he loves any variation of the first down point. Yeah.
I am a sucker for a guy hitting a big 3 and going to sleep.
I didn't know this about you. This is good.
It's relatively new. Like at first, at first it was kind of annoying. Like 3 goggles is annoying. The 3 and the vein, like that's annoying. But something about, why don't you just go to sleep? Go sleepy time.
That is a great revelation on this show. Okay, we'll make sure everybody knows about this.
Like, he told him to go to sleep.
He told him to go to sleep. He really did. He put him to bed.
Night.
Creighton and Marquette tomorrow. Shoot around starts at 11.
30.
30.
You were getting there. I cut you off.
11:30.
We finish each other's sentences.
Yeah, just like I remember who's on the roster and how old people are in all times. Yes, I was getting there. Don't worry. And 1 o'clock will be courtside with our dear friend John Bishop, who will be yelling things into one microphone all day long, as will I. Nebraska.
Scars.
The Buckeyes are coming off of a nice win against Maryland at home last night. What does that mean for them? They have to pack up, hit the road, and got to go, I guess we got to go to the cornfields in Nebraska. Maybe they'll do a corn graphic for us, Josh.
Probably. It is right there in the name, Cornhuskers.
Maybe they will give us the great, great pleasure of the cornfield. Graphic. So who knows what kind of impact that'll have on Ohio State. But the little research on that, I've watched them a couple times this year. They don't seem like physically all that impressive. I can tell you about it, from watching them, and then the numbers confirm it. You know what Ohio State loves doing more than anything? Fouling. They love fouling people.
Oh.
They love fouling people.
Interesting strategy.
So this sets up for a very precarious situation on Sunday, where if they do their normal thing and they love fouling and the refs aren't calling it.
Oh, no. Oh, no, please. No.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to come in here on Monday and have to talk about 2 sets of officials.
Just saying. Just prepare yourself. It's a it's like a tornado watch.
Eagles, Huskers getting screwed by the referees. Handshake me.
I mean, that's like Providence the other night, pushing Creighton around and nothing. They got nothing. So much so that Ryan Kalkbrenner of all people got a technical foul. So I'm just saying we're on a watch of that. And they have one of the funniest. They have one of the funnier KenPom pages out there, as far as like their profile. Ohio State does.
What's your little KenPom thing you say about Ohio State?
So they have the number 1 offensive steal rate in the country. So they don't give up steals, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Right? They don't give up steals. But they have one of the worst non-steal turnover rates in the country.
Oh,
so
just like bad passes.
They turn the ball over a medium amount.
Okay.
But when they turn the ball over, it is only dead ball turnovers.
That is really
It is odd. It is odd.
That your foot was on the baseline.
Right. Stuff like that. Travel, throw it away, whatever it might be.
Double dribble, you suck.
An incredible amount of dead ball turnovers, but almost no live ball turnovers for Ohio State. And which honestly works kind of well for Nebraska because, I mean, they're not going to be the team that forces you into a lot of turnovers either. They kind of, they're going to allow you to shoot from the 3-point line, and they're not much of like an individual pressure defense that would lead to a lot of steals or anything like that. So they'll be okay with that. They'll be careful, and we'll see how they match up on Saturday. They shoot the 3 well, they defend the 3 well, but Nebraska's at home. Over under.
Got to hit those free throws.
Over under. 2. Over under 2 wins. All three men's teams combined.
Oof.
Mavs, Jays, Skurs.
Push.
Skurs, Mavs, Jays.
Push.
2 exact wins?
Yeah. And I'm going to be honest. I don't
you can't
know
pick
which
a push. You
I
have
don't
to
know
pick,
which 2.
The whole thing is designed so you literally can't pick a push.
You set the number.
Yeah, I set the number, and you can't pick a push. You have to pick over or under. That's why it exists.
Well, if 2 is not on the table,
no, 2 is not on the table.
I have to
over
go
or under 2.
3 or 1.
Yeah,
I'm going to go under.
What? You hate these teams, Josh. I can't believe.
I love these teams.
You can't believe it.
I would be in 3 cities for March Madness if I could.
Huh. But you can only be in 1 at a time.
Should we all go to Dayton for Omaha's game?
Interesting thought.
Are we going to have that debate if that counts as a tournament win?
Oh no, I think we've already had it. We all agreed that it does.
Okay.
It does.
I know, like legally, like technically,
It does.
like it goes in the record book as a tournament win.
But the thing is, like when you put a banner up, like if you lose in the play-in game, you could say you made the NCAA tournament. Great.
Yeah.
If you win the play-in game, you get to say round of 64.
Mm-hmm.
If you win the play-in game and the first game, you get to say round of 32.
Also get to say you beat a 1.
Yeah, but like if you're Nebraska
Sure.
and you're in as a play-in team, you get to say
11.
I'm an 11 seed,
Mm-hmm.
win a game, round of 64. Win a game, round of 32. That's 2 different things you could put on one banner, NCAA tournament.
Be a hell of a run for Nebrasketball.
Hey,
which they can do because they're very good.
I believe you when you say that. That's for sure.
Thank you.
All right. Back after this on 1620 The Zone. Well, the Jordy Ball experience saw its first full game last night. And it went well.
Yes, it did.
It went well.
Much better than last year.
Is Nebraska softball going to make the Women's College World Series? I think it's I don't think it's too early to say whether or not that's the case. I think we can make a declaration. We know enough at this point, Josh, right?
That's the bar. That's the success failure metric, right?
They beat the number 6 team in the country, and Jordy Ball, basically did it single-handedly. She threw a complete game, only allowed 1 run, struck out 7, and hit a 2-run home run. So that would have been enough for Nebraska to win 2-1. Instead, they won 7-1. I guess there were some more people who got in on the action, but yeah, I think it's happening. The Jordy Ball effect is coming to Lincoln finally.
They are expected to be great, and they've had to like sit in it for a year, right? Like, hey, what if I told you we were running a race, and then I had you get in the blocks, and then I told you to stay there for a year?
Yeah, it's crazy. Did you hear Jordy talking about? I am always so impressed with her. She was talking about like just the patience she's had to have with herself throughout the process of the last year, and she was like, yeah, I was kind of go, and maybe this was just a sign that I needed to just take a step back and take a deep breath for a second, and so that's how I took it, and now I've been able to kind of like while training and preparing and getting healthy and all those things, like I've been able to see a little bit of a bigger picture now. I mean, it's when a player of that caliber goes through an injury like that, an injury where you're going to miss a season, whether it be Tommy John or an ACL or whatever it is, you're going to miss a season. That is almost always the inflection point in their careers.
Yeah.
What do they decide they want to do with this?
It's going to make you better, or it's going to absolutely cripple you.
Yep. And so I have very little doubt that Jordy Ball has approached that piece of it the right way, at least and that's it, right? That's it. It's not, how good can you be coming back off of it physically? You're in control of that. Mentally is the big one.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, how am I gonna play this? So a very, very good start for Nebraska softball last night. By the way, quickly before we get out of here, Sam McEwen caught up with Troy Dannon. Couple things.
I'm sorry, who?
Mr. Yogurt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All things stadium related. Remember Memorial Stadium, Josh?
I do remember Memorial Stadium.
And they're going to blow it up.
Oh?
No. They're not going to get a brand new stadium, even though people that was really what they wanted them to do. So Dannon had said in November 2024 that a new plan may come in the first quarter of 2025, which would have been Friday's Board of Regents meeting. In a Wednesday interview, Dannon said he and his team continue to put the final touches on the new vision for the stadium renovation. In May 2024, Nebraska pressed pause on developing the original $450 million vision pushed by former AD Trev Alberts. His proposal focused more on tearing down and rebuilding the South Stadium wedge, roughly 23,000 seats for major student section and fans who sat in the South for years. That plan would have started. It would have been underway already after the 2024 season. They would have blown up South Stadium just after the Wisconsin game.
Remember that?
Blow it up. Not the case. So what is the case going forward? Well, Dannon says the new plan will be, quote, much more aggressive in overhauling East and West Stadium, which sit behind both sidelines of the field where higher price and higher in-demand seats are located. Quote, we've got a good conceptual design and financial model that is on paper conservative but attractive. So they are working on the scope of things right now, but Nebraska still plans to tear down South Stadium after the 2026 season, going without roughly 20% of its seats for the 2027 season, as it works on East and West 2. The structure underneath, the substructure underneath East and West Stadium outer shells dates back to 1923 when Memorial Stadium opened and has deferred maintenance costs to address. Dannon wants a renovation robust and thorough enough to last Memorial Stadium through its 150th birthday. That would be in 2073. So basically, upon further review, they have not only gotten the scope of what they need to do, but if they've dug into it more and decided, oh no, this can't just be as simple as we're going to, because remember the whole conversation we were having at the time is like, the stadium is pieces.
Right.
The stadium is basically just a pie. We're going to pick up a slice of the pie, and then we're going to rebuild it, and we're going to put it back down and make it the pie again. And I think what Dannon sees it as is, no. This is a pie that cannot be cut. This is a big project, and the scope is even larger than we thought. And we can't stop. We're not going to do this just the aesthetic changes of we'll blow up South Stadium and build a new South Stadium. It's like, no, we got some stuff that we need to do in East, got some stuff that we need to do in West. And so this is a large scale renovation now that we don't know exactly the details yet on. But if the initial cost of Memorial Stadium was $450 million, that was the vision, right? And we said at the time, yeah, that's not going to be enough. What is this going to be? What are we talking about?
More.
And remember, Penn State doing a $700 million renovation at the moment. Kansas recently basically wrecked their entire stadium and built it right back up for $450 million.
Because they had Arrowhead right there.
Yeah, they just played there. And the Sporting KC Stadium. Mm-hmm. So we're talking about a big sum of money, Josh.
Yeah. And that's always the piece of the puzzle. There's nowhere for Nebraska to go for a year or 6 months, whatever.
They're not going to they're going to be without South Stadium for a period of time. We already know that.
Definitely.
The East and West Stadium stuff that they're doing, I think a lot of it is like substructure, infrastructure, like back of the house, that those type of things. I don't think that will cause that much disruption, but what do I know? It's not so much where do you put the people, it's how do you kind of do this all at the same time.
Also, feel free to win games.
Yeah, that might be helpful.
Loosen those purse strings a little bit.
Also, there was some conversation that they would be able to get a new video board and put it on top of South Stadium, and then have that in place when South Stadium wasn't there anymore. That apparently is not going to be the case.
Ooh.
Dannon had hoped the video board could stand tall above the entire renovated structure throughout the construction. This will not be the case. It will have to be integrated to the new South Stadium. So new South Stadium scoreboard until South Stadium is built.
That's fine, I guess. It'd be nice to have something there.
Cranes.
Instead of
cranes. Dudes in construction hats. Ooh. Yeah. So that is the latest update there. Good stuff from Sam, and some interesting things there from Troy Dan. And Jeff writes in $1 billion.
A Billy?
I don't know. It could be. It's going to be a lot of money.
I don't think we have that.
It's going to be a lot. Well, you find it.
Les Warren is like.
You don't have to pay it off right away. It's like the Mark card, Josh.
Buy now, pay later.
Back after this on 1620 The Zone. All right, so the polls at Happer Show. We must get out of here as fast as we can, Josh.
Oh?
It is imperative that we do this.
Okay.
Because John is mad at us.
Mad at us?
Yeah, John, angry. We got Angry John, classic.
Classic Angry John.
Day after a long trip.
Mm-hmm.
John's all mad. And he's like, can you guys just end this show? I need to talk.
Need it like I need air.
Does John Daly have big traps? No.
I don't think
No,
so,
he does
guys.
not. I don't think Matt really got what I was trying to say.
No.
51% say no.
Neck and neck.
Is O Canada a bop?
Yeah, I thought we established this a long time ago.
58% say yes. And does Vegas love baths this year? Vegas is taking some baths on the NFL this year. A lot of favorites winning.
Bad year for them.
Will it be the case yet again on Super Bowl Sunday? I say yes. 61% say yes. Those are the polls, Josh. What are we watching?
We're going to watch the Super Bowl this weekend.
Oh, are you going to tell me about the Puppy Bowl?
Actually, no, that's not on my sheet.
Thank God. I haven't heard a single word about the Puppy Bowl until right now when I just thought of it.
Because I know you hate dogs and specifically puppies.
In this case, yes. The Puppy Bowl is so stupid.
5:30 kickoff on Big Fox. Coverage on 1620 The Zone begins at 1 o'clock. And for the first time ever, we will be broadcasting the halftime show as well.
Oh,
So you won't miss a thing.
That's what they're going to be saying. That's what he's going to be doing the whole time.
Mommy, why does the song keep pausing? well, son.
He's cussing underneath that, actually.
Pregame begins at 10 o'clock on Big Fox, 1 o'clock on 1620 The Zone. Basketball tonight, Big Fox, 7 o'clock tip. Between number 19 UConn as they host number 12 St. John's.
That's some hell in a cell.
That's going to be a rumble. 1 o'clock tomorrow on Big Fox. Creighton hosts number 11 Marquette. Coverage begins on 1620 The Zone with shoot around at 11:30. John takes you inside the arena at 12:30 for that 1 o'clock tip. The Omaha Mavericks will be on the radio tomorrow, 12:30 pregame, 1 o'clock tip.
Mavs.
As we pack the Baxter for their game against North Dakota State. You can hear it on 1180. 3 o'clock tomorrow on ESPN2, number 6 Florida at number 1 Auburn. 5:30 tomorrow on ESPN. Number 2 Duke is at Clemson. Love them, hate them. This is good for the sport. Dick Vitale's return to television tomorrow. Couldn't be happier for him. Ohio State and Nebraska, 1 o'clock Sunday. On BTN, the women play tomorrow night on Fox. Kind of a late one, 8 o'clock tip. I mean, it's in California, so it's actually not that late.
California, beautiful.
Yeah. California way, number 7 USC hosts number 8 Ohio State. Big one in the Big Ten. But there's an even bigger one. Sunday on ESPN, 1 o'clock, number 2 South Carolina at number 4. Texas NBA this weekend. Sixers Pistons tonight on ESPN if you're a sicko. 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon on ESPN, Luka's Laker debut. Lakers host the Pacers. Celtics Knicks tomorrow night on ABC. Another Sixers game Sunday afternoon on ABC. NHL last weekend of hockey before next week's Four Nations face-off. Lightning Red Wings and Golden Knights Bruins on ABC. A little doubleheader action tomorrow. Nebraska softball. 1-0. They play 4 games this weekend, 2 today against unranked teams, 2 tomorrow. That first one against number 13 Texas Tech will be on MLB Network at 3 o'clock.
Did you know that Texas Tech has $1 million softball player?
No, I did not.
$1 million woman.
Wow. Well,
NIL deals.
She's going down tomorrow on MLB Network. And a second softball game against number 24 Mississippi State. Supernovas at Atlanta Vibe tomorrow night at 6 o'clock on YouTube. This one's for Joe. Nebraska wrestling, number 7 in the country. They're at number 3 Iowa tonight, 7 o'clock on BTN. And Connor, this one's for you. Disney Plus, The Lion King at the Hollywood Bowl. No bugs, but the concert celebrates the film's 30th anniversary.
Give me a break.
With a 70-person orchestra and puppetry.
Will Elton John be there? Can you feel?
Jeremy Irons, Nathan Lane, Billy Eichner, and Jennifer Hudson will be there. It says and more.
Couldn't get Broderick.
I feel like if Elton John was going to be there, they would tell people Elton John was going to be there.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Connor.
That is what we're watching, and that is the show. If you miss anything, 1620thezone.com is where you can find it. Enjoy the weekend. Crossover is next.